Every day when you're walking down the street, everybody that you meet has an original point of view. And I say, hey, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. If you could learn to work and play and get along with each other. You got to listen to your heart, listen to the beat, listen to the rhythm of the street. Open up your eyes, open up your ears, get together and make things better by working together. It's a simple message and it comes from the heart. Oh, believe in yourself, for that's the place to start. And I say, hey, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. You can learn to work and play and get along with each other. What a wonderful kind of day. What a wonderful kind of day.
Hey! Hey! DW! Hey! Whoa!
Every day when you're walking down the street, everybody that you meet has an original point of view. And I say, hey, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. If you could learn to work and play and get along with each other. You got to listen to your heart, listen to the beat, listen to the rhythm of the street. Open up your eyes, open up your ears, get together and make things better by working together. It's a simple message and it comes from the heart. Oh, believe in yourself, for that's the place to start. And I say, hey, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. You can learn to work and play and get along with each other. What a wonderful kind of day. What a wonderful kind of day.
Hey! Hey! DW! Hey! Whoa!
Hello. Welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. Let's see. Last time we went to DECCON. Had a nice little mission. It was cute. I think we didn't talk to the town. I think we talked to our squad. We didn't talk to our town after this mission. So we're gonna talk to town. I think we also need to level everyone up, I believe. Okay. Also got the option to go to sleep, of course. Hey, Jin. Alright, that looks like the same thing. I don't know why that option is to go through that exact same dialogue again. Oh, well, hello. Pretty sure I recognize you. A heavy scent buffets your senses. The scent of pure, unadulterated book. Woody, musky, dusty. The light herbal incense from before seems like an afterthought in the wake of paper smell. Looking around you, you see that the shopkeeper has abandoned her earlier feeble attempts at organizing the text. Several of the tower's books are now reduced to piles on the ground. A piece of paper caught somehow in a ceiling rafter rustles gently above you. Pizza delivery. You hear a shuffling of papers and a head pops out of a pile of blankets and books. I'll take it. Over here. Her eyes fall on you. She limps back into the pile, disappointed. You're not pizza. Oh, sorry. She mumbles something inaudible and pulls herself up. You owe me for that one. She glances around the place. Sorry about the mess. I was up all night reading, or rather, up every night reading. You look dog tired. Feeling alright? Crafty lets out a single sharp laugh. I've been better, if that's what you mean. Going through these notebooks has been hard. Not just because of the sheer amount of information. It's been a nostalgic ride, too. If these journals are kicking your ass, you can always stop. Your health comes first. No way. I dug myself too deep to back out now. And I don't say that as a bad thing. I made progress. I'm proud of that. She leans on a book-covered chair. The sooner I figure out these dreams, the sooner I can rest. Trust me, Cade. I'll make up for it in spades. And naps. If that's the plan, remember to pace yourself. You won't get anything done if you become sick. You gotta be a mom here. Make a good point. I appreciate the advice, but don't worry, it's not a total slog. These journals are just as exciting as they are laborious. So, what's the latest? The latest. She walks over to her glass table and starts. I get this guy, we're not even mentioning him. We're just ignoring him. She walks over to her glass table and starts tossing books off of it. As she digs through them, you realize the table is not actually a table, but a glass display case. Full of dried medicinal ingredients. Crafty withdraws a notebook from the pile, its binding unraveling, the pages holding on for dear life. Here we go. This one's loaded. With what? Got a couple of big finds. Mom's notes are a mess, so I boiled them down to the most important information. An exorcism and the Yama Kings. Where do you want to start? Tell me about the exorcism? She lifts through the notebook, and after locating the right page, lays the book on the counter. Her index finger glides over the notes. She summarizes its contents. On one of Mom's trips to the walled city, she decided to check out an archway, an old crumbling relic that the residents believed to be haunted. Mom wasn't sure about the hauntings, but upon entering the area, she immediately felt that it was a place of concentrated chi. I know someone who mentioned the same arc. She's from the walled city. Crafty looks up from the notebook. I believe that. It's a fairly prominent landmark. Seems to be that most people from the walled city would have at least heard of it, if not seen it. What did she say? Nothing good. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. At least from what my mother wrote, it was seriously bad. Go on. I didn't mean to interrupt. Where were we? The chi wasn't like your standard run-of-the-mill energy. Even for the walled city, this chi was exceptionally dark, and it all seemed to gravitate towards the arch. So she did what any kook of her magic brand would try. A Taoist exorcism. How did that go? It went to hell. The exorcism failed and something happened to her. She broke. Crafty takes a deep breath to breathe through her nose. My mother had entered the city strong, confident, and capable. But when she left that day, it's hard to explain. It's as if the experience left her vulnerable to those base horrors within the walled city. She grew paranoid, became frail of mind and body, a mere shadow of her former self. It's as if she'd witnessed something, and it changed her. She became more obsessed than ever, and that's how I remember her now, as that broken woman. I'm not sure how this fits into our investigation, but If that sort of malevolence is coursing through the walled city, it's no wonder the people who live there experience such terrible dreams. Okay, so tell me about the Yama Kings. Crafty turns to a page marked with a red sticky note. She looks up at you. Tell me, how much do you know about the Yama Kings? Never heard of them. Personally, I'd only heard about the Yama Kings in fables and myths, things to share as children. I think we have actually heard them mentioned, but I don't remember, so, you know. Things to scare children to sleep, to inspire awe. As you can guess, intimate knowledge about imaginary beings is largely non-existent. And here, she taps the page, we found the demons of the walled city. Though through my mother's excursions into the slum, she came to learn that its residents had their own unique Yama Kings, different from the traditional ones. The people there are segregated from the rest of Hong Kong. Over time, they came to believe that their home was possessed by local demons. Makes sense, considering the place's penchant for crime and disaster. Interesting. What were they like? There were three that Mom knew of. Lam Vai, Fu Mang, and Qian Ya. Each Yama King is associated with a negative energy in which they feed. Lam Vai feeds from cowards, Fu Mang from the guilty, and Qian Ya slaves. Unfortunately, my mother's handwriting declined with their sanity. She rubs her forehead in frustration. She has a lot of details in here about these local Yama Kings, but I can only make out bits and parts. There's a list, somewhere here about her mouth twists sideways and her eyes squint, straining to read the notes. Rules? Maybe laws of some sort? The thing that stood out for me is here. She plops a finger onto the page. It's about the propriety surrounding ownership in deals, exchanges, negotiations, luncheons? No, that last part can't be right. Anyway, it says Yama Kings, under rules or laws, must adhere to the terms of a deal, and there's something else, but she sighs and flips the paper onto the counter. No, sorry. Can't read anything past that. You know, it's strange to me that Mom found these mystical beings significant enough to mention in her documents. It makes me wonder if she thought they were real, or connected to the curse she believed in. A thump, and Crafty closes the notebook. She casually tosses it back into a display case. It's not the best lead, but I think it's a step in the right direction. Back so soon. Think you could send me a copy of those notes? Crafty taps a finger to her nose. Already a step ahead of you. I just finished digitally transcribing the information. I'll send it your way. She looks around the book cover shop. As soon as I find my terminal. Thanks, Crafty. You're welcome. Expect them soon. Okay. She is not going to mention the elf in the room. Yep. This austere, refined-looking elf is browsing the shop's collection of talisma, herbs, and crystals. Noting your approach, he turns to face you. I guess he's just a customer, theoretically. That's what they're treating him as. Good evening, my friend. I hope it's been a pleasant one. I've had worse, I guess. His lips quirk upward in a slight smile. Indeed. With so much misery and pain only meters away, permeating the walled city. Worse is a quality that is quite tangible here in Hyoi. I do not envy those trapped within those boundaries. My name is Algeron Halfdream, and it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. So this is the magic shop proprietor from Dragonfall, the previous game. Algernon does not extend his hand, but he does incline his head politely. It's not quite a bow, but almost. You don't sound like a local. No, I'm not, I admit, though I have been to Hong Kong many times in the past. I was acquainted with Meow's mother, Eleanor. Algernon spares a moment to survey the shop. I must say, it's been kept in wonderful condition, if not improved somewhat. Where are you originally from? I've been traveling all my entire life and rarely stay in one locale for long. I would consider nowhere and everywhere my home. When you speak as many languages as I do, it's inevitable they begin to bleed together. Though I've always had a particular fondness for Cantonese. It has a lyrical quality few other languages can match. Are you a mage or a shaman? What makes you think I'm either of them? Perhaps I'm simply an inquisitive soul. Algernon smiles, gestures towards the racks of magical accessories on the wall. Of course, a merely inquisitive soul would not be interested in purchasing any of this. Perhaps I am both, or neither. The nature of magic is fluid, especially in these tumultuous times, so soon after the dragons have awoken. Too many people try to draw binary divisions between methods of thaumaturgy. At the heart of things, there is will, there's power, and there's change. You got some interesting eyes, Algernon. Do I? I've never really thought about them, to tell you the truth. They allow me to see, and there our relationship ends. Surely there must be many people in Huai with interesting eyes. Cyber surgery is so common these days as to be almost routine. Yours don't look like cyber eyes, though. Of course they don't. They are my natural eyes. A bit peculiar, I suppose, but no more so than dogs with a paralyzing howl, telepathic cats, or the occasional vampire. The modern world is full of unusual sights. I just like that he's just like, well, I don't know what you'd find weird about it. You've been in the walled city. No. There's a leaden finality to Algernon's tone. Pauses for a moment before elaborating. I have looked around outside and spoken to some residents who traded the edge, but I have not entered it. The misery and hopelessness of those within it is overwhelming, and I would prefer not to venture too near such a well of negativity. But those emotions have colored and warped astral space in a unique fashion, one that I felt was worth studying, albeit from afar. Shakes his head sadly. Such a waste of human potential. To think of all the ways the world and fate have failed those people. Safe travels, my friend. I have no idea what the purpose of him being here is. Maybe he does something later. But right now it's just like, hey, it's that guy. Rosa, what are you doing? Dio, be nice. Dio, be nice to Rosa. Cade, Wolf, here's looking at you. Rival Matthew gives you a big wink and a shooter sign. His eyes don't seem to reflect the emotion as usual. You in the market for a high-powered grade A autonomous helpers, or are you just here to hang out? Because if you're just here to hang out, Matthew's pathetic personality seems to flicker for a moment. The expression pulses back and forth between snarmy cheer and something like shy happiness. That'd be okay by me. I'm just hanging, Matthew. Good to see you. Right on, beautiful. Right on. While Matthew smiles blissfully, looking around at the docks. He admires the looming, oppressive mass of the walled city. Take your time. Make yourself at home. I'll be right here if you need anything. He flashes you a big smile, exaggerated and fake-looking, yet also somehow genuine. It's good having you around. Let's talk more about your medicine. Matthew playfully blows the smoke of his cigarillo. My medicine? I can't think of a thing to talk about, except how nice it is to see you. Nothing but blue skies over here, beautiful. Be real with me, Matthew. Baby, I'm as real as the setting sun. He sighs heavily through his plastic grin. Alright, beautiful, alright. Clutching his cigarette a little tensely between his fingers, he reaches up into his hair. With a faint click, he removes the chip. His expression goes slack and his shoulders slump. Matthew struggles to maintain eye contact as a slow tide of melancholy washes over his face. Hi, Cade, he says it timidly. He looks around disconsolately at the drone-scattered deck. Here we are. Why are you doing this to yourself? Matthew mumbles a reply. You would too. Lifts his head and looks you in the eye, tentatively but with a certain conviction. I know what people think. Some people like Ambrose don't look down on me, but everyone else, I just want them to leave me alone. I want to be left alone, okay? Okay. I mean, I understand. You can go back now. Thanks for being real for a minute. Thanks, Cade. He gives you a shy nod. There's a deep recognition in his eyes. I know what I'm doing. Going back now. As he reaches up at his hair, there's a faint click as he snaps the BDL back into his data jack. His back ripples as he pulls himself upright, and his face transforms with a sudden surge of feeling. Cade, that was real. I mean, real beautiful. You got some chops on you. Phew. Just as time with exaggerated gusto. You know something I think about? May I tell you? It's gonna blow your socks. Sure, Matthew. Go ahead. You're a peach, beautiful. So let's get real. Really real. Matthew takes a big virile breath? He looks around in satisfaction, hands on his hips. I'm not Matthew Shun, and I'm not cool blue jazz. I'm both. Cocks an eye at you. I think a lot about where I'm from. Some coked up dude on a sim rig recording his feelings, mass produced in a factory, shipped out like a commodity. And this other poor guy on a slowly sinking, gasoline-reeking drone lot, called a merchant of poverty by his neighbors, alone with his drones, the moldy smell of his trailer. Makes me angry, Cade. Angry about this heartless shit heap that calls itself meta-humanity. But it also makes me proud. Where are you going with this? Loud Matthew taps forcefully on the chest. I'm proud because I'm more than the sum of my parts. Whatever aimless tweaker my feelings come from, they merge with a guy who never had a chance, and they alleviate his pain. I live a life of honor. Looks around at the looming walled city, the polluted river, the dilapidated drone yard. I'm like a knight errant, Yuxia. I'm like the swordsman of Jiadao. I fight for humanity. Thanks for reaching out to Matthew. Don't worry. I'm watching out for him. While Matthew nods in slow satisfaction, a wizened look on his face. As long as there's chips, I won't get tired. I'll never leave. Claps his hands together and breaks into a gigantic grin. Now let's get back to it. Beautiful! You're not like a Tang Dynasty warrior, Matthew. Thanks for laying it out. I think we understand each other. Me too, Cade. Me too. It's a real pleasure being real. Breaks out a fresh cigarello, rips the auto-igniter with gusto. Busts to life in a puff of rank blue smoke. Regards you with a sly, exaggerated smile. Now, my honorable brethren in arms, how can I brighten your day? Man, that is a depressing story, but I appreciate that it's like... I appreciate it's not like, oh, we gotta get him off the drugs. I mean, I could have tried that, I guess. I don't know how he reacts if we do it, but it seems like it's pretty understanding of, like, the problem is not the drugs. The drugs are a symptom of the fact that his life is shit, and there's not really anything you can do about that. Maximum law. Yo, Cade! While his voice is gregarious, a tinge of thaw, he smiles widely. How can I style out the carnivore? What do you need? Let's go talk to Ambrose. Ambrose looks rougher and more tired than usual. These dreams are getting out of hand, Cade. You got them too, right? I normally wake up more tired than I'm gonna fall asleep, but this is nuts. Let's talk about reliable Matthew. Ambrose sighs. He expresses as he's had this conversation before. What about Maddie? What about Maddie? Sounds like he's in a bad situation with his suppliers. Maddie is always in a bad situation with his suppliers. He's a terrible businessman, and used drone selling, that's a brutal business. You always have a lot more metal in the lot than you can afford, and the commissions are a pittance. Maddie doesn't want help to do something else, though. He wants to hole up with his little drone buddies and be left alone. Ambrose thrusts his chin out defiantly. There ain't nothing wrong with that. What's his deal? He's a shy, sensitive guy who's had a rough life. Now he's got a shit job selling people the thing they love to hate. Ambrose shakes his head in exasperation. That poor guy. You wouldn't harm a fly, but if there's someone who should have failure to adapt tattooed on their forehead, it's Maddie. I commend you for thinking about him, Cade. I really do. A lot of cases like Maddie come through my door, and I feel for him. If I didn't have this gig, I might be right there with him. There, but by the grace of Chrome and Booty go I. Ambrose makes a mock touch to his arm. It's reliable Matthew. Hold true, little buddy. There's a rest for you at the end of the tunnel. There's not. It's reliable Matthew. Yeah, what rest is that, Ambrose? Same rest we all get. Death in the scrapyard. Let's talk about something else. This is just depressing. So, after you got smashed up, how did you become a street doc? Amber's face becomes grim. You want to keep going with this, Cade? Alright. After that ambush, things were desperate for a long time. We had to borrow a lot of money. Karen had blown ears and a brain injury. I was a chunk of raw meat. I was so bad I was almost euthanized. Shit, I wanted to be put down. Then he turned the tide. Continue with your story. I'm listening. Karen still had her haul back from the job. It was mostly full of incomplete research data. Useless. However, it also had this crazy score. A draft medico-surgical no-soft skill wire program. Well, first we thought it was a crazy score. Then we realized it was a paperweight. This wasn't some doc in a box. It was Sigma grade. Really high end. It was supposed to be run through an expert robotic system, not a person. It was also unsellable. Very rare. Very traceable. But then, he breaks into a secretive, proud smile. I figured out how to run it through my cyber. How did you do that? It's hard to explain if you're not a tech head. You wouldn't understand. He breaks into an involuntary chuckle. Okay, twist my arm, I'll tell you. Ambrose smiles so delightedly that even his cyber eye seems to twinkle. His voice is conspiratorial. He talks fast. I use 3 external servers to hold it over at my workstation. I run hard lights from the servers through 2 jacks. One to my Cortex, one to my tactical computer. My other 2 jacks I specially installed. One plugs into my encephalon, which has been repurposed. The 4th jack connects my headwear to external memory in my wheelchair. My encephalon handles algorithmic load, my tactical computer acts as an enteric processor, and titrates between my no-soft, skill wire, brain, and the control rig. The whole mashup takes 5 custom programs, all one poem build. From there, smooth sailing. Ambrose smiles beatifically. I'm not just Ambrose. I'm the chair, the servers, the machinery. I am Chrome Alley. And that's why my remaining essence is just a precious sliver. Where was I? Oh yeah, so I figured out how to run the program. I said, Karen, this is our golden ticket. We're going to make a killing. We borrowed more money, got kindly in the Kai-Fi tribe to sponsor us, set up Chrome Alley. The rest is history. Looks proudly at the medical clinic cum machine shop. Maybe it's not a killing, but it's turned out to be a pretty good life. Dio, can you go out of my way? Also, why can we not ask about Karen? Because he pointedly did not. He said they figured it out, or he figured it out with her, and then they set up Chrome Alley, and she's not here. He was absconded with a high-grade military program, or a high-grade program. The corp that you hit may not forget that. Don't you worry about the program's owners coming after you? I worry about a lot of people coming after me. Nobody really gets out of the shadows, but my trail's cold. I've had this thing for 5 years now. Ripshot is dead. 10-Iron Ambrose lives here now. I don't want to talk to him about Essence. We can talk about it some other time. I want to know, I'm very curious what happened to Karen though, and I'm sad that I didn't get to ask him. because he definitely jumped over that. Frederick Ka-Fi stands solidly by the club door, his arms folded across an impossibly large chest. He eyes those entering and leaving the club like a god might look down from Olympus, and he smiles while doing so. Hey, Cade Wolf, been hearing more about you. Yeah? What'd you hear? Oh, this and that. Probably all misinformation or slander. You tell me. I heard you might have killed some guy. Maybe a couple dozen guys. Maybe even that you're a terrorist. Not sure that one fits, but you do look like a heavy hitter. Oh, I'm a lover and a fighter. Club 88 caters to both. And you're in the right company with me. You know they call me the Untouchable? Never taken so much as a scratch. Of course, my snot brother says because people are afraid to hurt me, else they might lose face with their parents. As if that would ever stop some of these punks, am I right? Not a scratch. Pulls up his taut t-shirt, revealing a thick layer of form-fitting body armor below it. Of course, these things that get stopped by this stuff don't count as scratches. Handle some rough customers, have you? It's what I do. Think about it. Inside, my brother sells the kind of things that would make a Buddhist monk turn psychotic. And then in back, my ma's selling enough firepower to blow the roof 6 times over. In other words, we sell petrol and matches. And yours truly is the firefighter. But this firefighter ain't never been burned. No, not once. Pretty impressive, right? You just let me know if you need some additional muscle. You can call on Mr. Untouchable to get the job done. How much do you bench press, Frederick? I don't bench press. I do dumbbell presses. They're more functional. The bench press artificially stabilizes things too much. But to answer your question, when I do bench, I max out around 700 kilograms. He grins confidently. That's double the current world bench press record for unmodified humans, by the way. Tell me more about your family. You may think I'm impressive, and sure, my brother Cal and my ma both work hard to keep this place afloat. People don't realize things about my ba. He's not just some old sailor. You want to know the secret? He was a pirate. One of the very best. Over 20 years at sea, and he was never caught. Untouchable, just like me. You ask him about it, and he'll deny it. I'm sure he's made enemies over the years. Gotta play it smart, keep his past a secret. But I figured it out a long time ago. He's a great man, my ba. That's why I gotta be strong, live up to his example. I gotta remember to talk to Spider Shen. I didn't talk to her last time. Patriarch of the Ka-Fi clan seems more morose than usual. The effect is particularly pronounced because of his massive size and worn granite exterior. Looks like a mountain that has collapsed under its own weight. You return to us again, Cade. Everything alright, Henry? It's nothing. Just haven't been sleeping well. Bad dreams. As a matter of fact, yes. And to call them bad dreams would be putting it mildly. I don't remember much, and I'm thankful for that, but what I do remember, there's a woman's voice, possibly your mind's, telling me that I'm not wanted or needed. She urged me to leave by whatever means necessary. I think she wanted me to kill myself. And my boys were there too, only they were young again, but they didn't talk. They snapped at me, tried to bite me, and their teeth, they had far too many teeth. Rows upon rows of them, like shark teeth. I don't think I've ever been so scared in my whole life. Everything alright with Callum and Freddy? I don't know. Every time I try to be a father to them, I feel more and more like I'm anything but. I suppose they're not. I suppose it's because they're not my little boys anymore. They're grown men now. Wish it weren't the case. They were so much easier to handle, and maybe easier to love back when they were just boys, when their dreams were just silly nonsense, but all the more endearing because of it. Now, as men, their ambitions frighten me. I worry, but haven't the first clue on what to do about it. I talk to them, but I don't think Callum respects me anymore, and Freddy is in his own little world. Can you believe he's convinced I was a pirate? Henry lets out a sad laugh and just shakes his head. Did you ever have any run-ins with pirates? Back in my day, there weren't many true pirates in the waters around here. The bigger ships were too well defended, and the smaller ones were mostly not worth the effort. And as time went on, more and more money poured into Hong Kong. Money attracted more sophisticated criminals, rigged vessels, some of them formerly military, firepower, electronic warfare, trained men. I was mostly lucky. Wuxing was careful with its ships. They gave a lot of ships escorts in and out of port, and the stretches of pirates most likely to strike. Anytime we had big assets in tow, they'd set an escort or an air squadron to cover us. We had some light guns on the tugboat, and that was enough. Pirates saw us where we were. Trouble magnet with nothing worth stealing. There's only one incident, but we won't be talking about that. There are things I don't want my wife and boys to know about this world. Or me. Even though he has a drink in his hand, the red in Callum's eyes is not that of a drunken stupor, but of barely suppressed rage. An angry troll is a dangerous thing, and an angry drunk troll is a disaster waiting to happen. What do you want? You don't look so good. You should see the other guy. Ha! Not a scratch on her, of course. Might be easier if she just hit me, but she fights with words, fusing them with guilt and fear and deceit. She gets into your head. It's no wonder I'm having such twisted dreams. Problems with your mother. Asking that is like asking for my life story. The short version is that my parents have been actively working against me ever since I was old enough to think for myself. But this time it goes beyond discouragement. It's a new low. No other word for it, but sabotage. Whoever my would-be patron is, he works for Baihu, the same corp my mother used to work for. Not sure why she quit, but it must have been an ugly break for her to be acting this way. I think she'd be so spiteful that she'd deny her own son a future because of it. I always thought she just wanted me home, working as a wage slave in her own house. Turns out the bitch can't stand the thought of me succeeding where she failed. Wow, Callum. That's, dreams? Messed up dreams. Same one, actually. Over and over. I'm lying at a long dining table like you'd find in a rich man's home. Real wood, polished, set with all the finery. There I am, right in the middle of it all, like the main course. I hear whispers all around me, women's voices, and one of them approaches. I see that it's my mother. She doesn't even look me in the eye, she just sees me like an object, some kind of thing, and then she cuts into me. I don't feel any pain, I suppose I'm dead, but I scream anyway. I scream because of the look on her face when she starts to eat the hunk of me she carved off. Her teeth. Teeth are terrifying. Then another woman approaches, and it's my mother again. They all are, and they all start devouring me, bit by bit, until there's nothing left. Well, I'll leave you be. Brent Shirky. Is this another person? Probably. Something I can help you with, friend? The elf has a hard-set look to his face and the cold stare of someone accustomed to casual violence. Fucking hell. The most striking thing about him, however, are the glowing golden tattoos that wrap from his forehead around toward the back of his head, just over one a year. Trying to meet the local color. The elf casually extends one arm, turning it over so you can see his pale skin. I'm no local. I speak the language, but that's just common courtesy when you're working in another country. If you want to get chummy with Hong Kongers, go hang out in the night market. I'm only here for work. Oh yeah? What do you do? Fixing you with a dubious look, the elf cocks his head. What the hell do you think, woman? Look at you. We're obviously working the same angle here in Huey. Name's Brent. Brent Shirky. Fucking. I mean, obviously I read it before, but I love that that's his, like, his Shadowrunner name. I'm Brent. He doesn't extend a hand, but nods at you in greeting. I'm a mage. One of the best in this hemisphere, in fact. It's an awfully plain name. Brent shrugs. Name's not attached to my sin, so what does it matter? Why don't you use a street name? Brent shrugs, one corner of his mouth curling up in a wry smile. When I started running, I was too young to know better. By the time it mattered, I was too good for anyone to do anything about it. Since I'm sinless, it's not like any of the megas can attach meaningful information to my name. It's just as meaningless as any street name in terms of tracking me. Besides, street names always struck me as a little ridiculous. You call yourself something that sounds like a teenage Matrix handle, and that shows you're serious? Please. I wouldn't be able to look at myself in the mirror if I called myself something like Blackheart, Silverhand, or Adario. It's just ridiculous. Fred Shirky is the name that's mine. I've owned it my whole life. I change that now. Well, a lot of people had to change their street names, you know, to get away from things. What's your specialty as a mage? What kind of bullshit question is that? Are you interviewing for a job running tuxedos or something? Brent snorts, hunches over the table on one elbow. Magic is about power. You're dressed up however you like, but that's the core of what it is. I met a lot of magicians that talk about being spiritually in tune with the universe or reaching a higher state of enlightenment. It's all crap. You focus your will to enact a change on the universe. The stronger your will, the bigger the change. Calling it anything else is just window dressing. That's why I bring the big guns. Fire, lightning, raw force. My will is stronger than steel, or Kevlar, or stone. A good mage knows exactly how far they can push themselves, and they ride that limit. It's not the blessing of a totem or idol, but their own skill and knowing their limits. Just like an athlete. What about astral space? Spirits. It's where all magicians draw their power. Sure, they're spirits, but those are tangible. We can measure them. Totems, idols, there's no external evidence they exist. In fact, it's much more likely that they're simply common Jungian-style archetypes that the superstitious use to explain their power. Why did he... What's with the magical tattoo? Oh, this? Brent lifts two fingers running across his forehead toward the tip of his ear. Got this done in Yokohama a few years back. Old crewmate's brother is a tattoo artist out there, specializing in quicken spells. You put this kind of ink in, it's like getting a spell cast on you for good. Ward will knock it down just like normal, but you never have to recast the spell. It just slowly regenerates. Nice alternative to cyberware. That sounds like a pretty great deal. Oh, it is, but here's the catch. It's a constant astral link to you, no matter where you are. So if you piss off the artist, they can put ascending on you. Long-range magical artillery. It takes a bit to catch up with you, but you'll just explode on the spot. That's how the Triads keep members from breaking their oaths. It only gets kind of work done if you really trust the artist. Oh, okay. I'll get to find out what the spell is. Ermine Ka-Fi cleans and oils the disassembled parts of a half-dozen assault rifles spread across a nearby workbench. Her focus borders on obsessive, like a person rubbing her hands raw from excessive washing. I knew it. I just knew it. Everything alright, Ermine? She looks startled by the interruption, as if her words were not meant for other ears. Oh, nothing. It's nothing. Doesn't seem like nothing. She pauses in her work, staring at her hands a moment before finally turning her eyes upward. It's about Callum and the man he's been in contact with. I know he is now, and it's not right. Who is he? Someone I once worked with at Baiho. A superior. He was a powerful man then, and that was over 20 years ago. He's grown ever more powerful since, I have no doubt. If he isn't running in Hong Kong branch by now, it won't be long before he is, if that is what he wants. And this is a man who gets what he wants. If he wants Callum, I think I'm gonna lose my son. She returns to her work, clearly trying to lose herself in it. Is Callum alright? For the moment, yes, but I don't know how I could possibly keep him safe. I can't tell him why, but I have to make him understand that he cannot see this person. Ever. The closer I try to hold on to him, the quicker my voice seems to slip away. I fear I'm driving him straight into the arms of this man. Whatever happens after, it would be my fault. All my fault. Okay. Don't get to help. Let's go talk to Spider Shen. There they are. Leaning against the weapons table, Shen rests one hand atop a glass-covered case. Inside the case is a thin Chinese sword, a jian, with an ornate grip and blade etchings. A small label on the side of the case reads, "For White Ming." Oh there, Cade. Come to find a blade, or maybe some ginseng and peony root. How'd you know my name? Never told you. You think all I do is sit on the boat and wait for you to show up? Come on. You're kindly Cheng's pet Shadowrunner. Your name's all over Yoi. Shen grins, gesturing at you. You stand out, woman. That's a good thing. It means you're becoming somebody, not staying one of the forgettables. Shen stands, twisting left and right to a course of cracking vertebrae. So, what do you mean today? What's with the sword? This little thing? She runs one hand over the glass top of the case, smiling fondly. This is a masterpiece. Crafted by my own hands as a gift for White Ming. He's being elevated to a red pole. 120 centimeters in length, 3.5 centimeters width at the base, tapering to 2.75 before the tip. Half a centimeter in thickness with a twinning dragon motif along the fuller. And it lights on fire when the appointed owner holds it. Very nice indeed. Shen's annoyance is as glass shards in the reply. Nice is a bouquet of orchids. Nice is a fine meal after a hard day. Nice is pleasant weather while you relax on your boat. This isn't nice. This is a masterpiece. Few red poles in any triad can claim a weapon as fine as this, and none of them are masters of Wudang's sword like White Ming. His skills with the Jian are peerless in Hong Kong, and any who face him in combat will know when he draws his sword that they have no chance against him. Nice indeed. Pfft. Well, what goes into making a sword like this? Time, patience, good steel stock to be certain, a fair amount of alchemical materials like orichalcum, crystals, etc. The real key is human bone. The old Chinese masters would throw in human bones when folding the steel. The phosphorus does something or other to the carbon and iron. I can't really explain it because I'm not a metallurgist. I just do what I learned on the mountain. But it works, believe me. It gives the blade a soul. It's not so much the edge it cuts, but that soul. That's why weapon foci go through spirits like a knife through butter. Well, isn't that exciting? How much money do we have? Not very much, but oh right, we didn't get paid. I think we tried to get paid. We did not, but we're not actually getting paid by Iz for the last mission. So, all right, let's go look here. Overclock ability now gives the target drone +2 AP and +2 moment. That's good. Repair ability is now reduced. No, we want overclock. Come back to you. Nail grenade. Damage 12, ongoing 4 damage. It's like 20 damage total. Strips 1 armor. That's pretty good. New flashbang that has a larger AoE, increased by 1 tile in all directions. Nope, we want this. It's an additional ability rather than an increase to existing ability. Sabotage. Mini launcher is now packed with napalm charges, igniting damaged targets. Targets on fire will take an additional 6 HP. Well, that's pretty sweet. Boost program. Gains the boost program, which increases persona speed while sneaking in the matrix. Huh. So this is for the dumb, you know, stealth stuff in that mode. Poison Fog is upgraded to Acidic Fog, doing AP damage to those affected as well as HP damage. Ooh, that sounds sexy. Shrine Spirits summoned by God but are not present for additional turn, dispelling themselves for a total of 3. I think we want this. Alright, let's look at this guy here. Defensive ability adds +2 armor and +1 dodge. 1 AP. Does an additional 2 damage to bleeding damage for 2 rounds. Gains a ranged ability. 12. Spitting infected saliva. 8 with an additional 4 damage for 2 rounds. Ignores all armor. I like that. Gains katana ability. +100 damage, but can only attack stun targets. I don't have a lot of stun targets. Does he have like a stun ability by himself? Gaichu takes a bite out of his foe, restoring 8 HP over 2 rounds, getting 1 strength through the corruption. Okay, I guess we take that. I mean, neither of these are very exciting to me, but... Okay. There's something really weird about the audio, and I don't know what it is. I think it might just... Oh, boy. Mother's notes. Oh, this is from Crafty. Hey, Cade, here are those notes you asked for. Before you dive in, heads up. They're a complete transcription of that list from my mother's journal, as in their thoughts and ramblings of an insane woman. It's not an easy read. Another dream. This time it was a near figure, a shadow, a wraith, faceless. I heard its voice, though it did not speak. And when I woke, I was inside my home, though I had been in the city just moments before. Where am I? A weight dropped into me. I felt the words of the wraith in my skin, in the tips of my hair. I saw its mouth in my mind's eye, rows and rows and rows of lies. Morning. My hand was to the paper before I even knew I was writing. I wrote the words, these words. They cannot lie. I added it to my list. Evening. Was it a king I saw? Was I really there? It was in this city, I'm sure of it. And how did I end up here? Was I carried back? My list is growing. Soon with this knowledge I will stop the kings. A step forward is a step backward. A step backward is a step forward. Each wraith has a name, a true name and a false name. Knowing their true name is knowing their weakness. To call them on their lies is to make yourself invincible. They will still try to eat you. They fear the feathers of unborn chicks. King must be one or the other. That is, of the negative world or positive. But positive doesn't necessarily make them good, nor negative make them bad. They simply are. Once a deal is brokered, it cannot be unmade. So I'm assuming at this point there's a deal with the devil kind of thing going on with, what's-her-face, Josephine and Dad made some kind of deal with the Yama Kings of the walled city. Kings of the planets are closely connected. When nearest the sun, their power wanes. When farthest, it grows. There is only one wraith. There is only one wraith. There may be 2 wraiths, but there is most certainly only one wraith. They must follow the laws of the universe, rules set in motion long ago. Should they concede defeat, all is lost to them. Kings are the rulers of us all. They take from us their lifeblood, and with it parts our souls. Do not give them what they seek, and you will be their match. They cannot lie. Morning. I made breakfast. It fell on the floor in the shape of my death. Another truth revealed to me. I added it to my list. It's all or nothing. They are all liars. Another dream. I was in a white space. I could taste the color as if it were air. This time, no voice. Just rose and 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 rose. A mess, I know. There's not a whole lot of significant material other than what I already picked out, but even that is contradicted within Mom's notes. Everything should be taken with a grain of salt. Meantime, I'll keep looking into it. Good luck on your end. Out of town. I'm not in Hioi right now, so don't bother coming to see me. We'll talk when I return. Please continue with our business ventures in the meantime. I hope you're enjoying your newfound success in the shadows. I've got another job for you, one that should prove very lucrative indeed. I've been contracted by an employee of the Eastern Tiger Corporation. He needs you to steal some research data and biological samples from his employer. The man's name is Tegoth Wright. Till recently, he was a researcher on a genetic engineering project. It's cagey with the details, but I gather that it's centered around phenotype alteration and postnatal genetic enhancement. Unfortunately for Wright, he's got a conscience. Stupid man. Luckily for us, he's willing to pay to have his conscience assuaged. Wright's project was apparently quite horrible. Experiments on living children, total disregard for biomedical ethics and safety, and when Wright raised concerns, he was taken off the project. He decided to step outside the bounds of the law and expose their wrongdoing to the world. Snag, you see, is that his wife and child live in Seoul. Not quite the heart of Eastern Tiger's power, but close enough. He's afraid that if he releases the information himself, they'll be taken prisoner and used as leverage. The idiot should have thought of that before, but that's not our problem. Samples and data are currently on an Eastern Tiger cargo ship, the MV Nalchi, sailing near Hong Kong on their way to Seoul. The storm slowed the ship down, so you don't have to go right away, but don't take too long. Once you have the data and samples, you're to call Wright. I've attached his number. He'll give you instructions on how he wants the information leaked. When you're ready, let me know. I'll arrange transit with Captain Jomo. He's a local Loho Jowa pilot and smuggler, but don't let that put you off. He's as good as they get. He'll have you on that ship without incident. Sweet. Let Captain Jowa know you're ready. You can find him at the end of the pier my parlor is on. Cool. Oh god. We'll come back to that. Okay. Typhon installed offshore. Update on Typhon Usagi. Typhoon Usagi, sorry. Infrared images of the storm eye-to-wall transition are really quite stunning, by the way. Typhoon Usagi is stalled in the South China Sea and is now weakening after passing north of the Philippines. Strong wind and periodic very heavy rains will continue as Usagi's arms sweep across the region. For the moment, Usagi is resisting the wind, which is causing it to lose strength. Prevailing winds will probably ultimately drive Usagi ashore west of Macau as it struggles to remain over open water. According to Dr. Lance Inroki of the Imperial Japanese Meteorological Agency, even the most awakened storms have difficulty delaying their landfall for more than a week, once they are in the South China Sea. Usagi will still be a full-strength typhoon when it makes landfall, but its delay fortunately gives people in the storm path more time to prepare. Look, babe, I just made this cartoonified typhoon for you. It's got a little purse and sparkles and bubbly tea and 8 arms with assorted weapons and a necklace with skulls and everything. You're the best. The J-pop theme on the ammunition belts really takes it over the top, Amanita. You are a special person. Has anyone else been keeping track of the Executive Council elections? It's almost time for the latest round, and the competition is heating up. Up until this point, Tiantian CEO Sao Kok Chu looked like the best pick to replace Josephine Sang of Sang Mechanical Services. Despite Wuxing CEO Kent Zuling's rivalry with Chu, he had the support of both Yanglin Fad of Shibata and Adrian Chung of Hildebrandt Kleinfort Bernal. Now, though, I'm not so sure. Josephine Sangpring seems pretty confident that she'll remain on the council. From what I've heard, she's got a deal with Ares Asia, Minobi, and Eastern Tiger to stay out of their way. In exchange, they let her own Southeast Asia's large-scale construction projects. A cozy relationship like that could turn the tides against Tian. Your screen flickers as his trid clip begins playing. Oh, look at how old she is. Josephine Sang stands at a podium addressing a crowd of reporters in front of a partially constructed skyscraper. With the finalization permits approved for the Pak Thai Workers' Complex here in Dongguan, I promise you that the prosperity of this city can only increase. This marks an auspicious day. Thousands of new jobs in construction, tens of thousands more when the project is complete, and low-cost housing for every worker. Some have said Sang Mechanical Services does not have the will to compete in a global market, that we are only a force to be reckoned with in Hong Kong, Africa, and South America. I say that our good fortune is your good fortune. Sang pounds the podium with a closed fist, nodding for emphasis. Sang Mechanical Services is more than a local company. Our star is rising and shows no sign of slowing. I ask the residents of Dongguan, who among you does not wish for a better life, a wealthier, happier life, one where your company is also your family and can protect you from the uncertainty of these trying times? We will give you that life. We will give you that protection and certainty. What a load of utter crap. Maybe crap, but the people in Dongguan ate it up. The idea of signing with a local company that isn't Bayou, and believe me, they count Tiantian and Wuxing as foreign, was too much of a draw for them to pass on. I'm thinking that absent catastrophe, Josephine Sang will be on the Executive Council in the next few days. Why do they count Wuxing as foreign? Tiantian, sure, they're headquartered in Beijing, but Wuxing's just as native to Hong Kong as Sang is. Wuxing and the Canton Confederation have been at odds since 2015. Wuxing's been in a habit of exploiting the people of Guangdong, using loopholes to shield themselves from taxation. What's more, Wuxing was the primary mover in founding the Free Enterprise Zone and permanently stopping the Confederation's designs on Hong Kong. Sang took a different tactic. Josephine Sang started out by promising the Canton Confederation a very lucrative tax agreement in exchange for a low-cost, long-term lease for their facilities in Dongguan. She sweetened the deal by treating them like family rather than adversaries. She's got the meeting out of her hand. Punk/metal/hardcore. Got a collection of over 10,000 albums of punk, hardcore light, thrash metal, heavy metal, light metal, death metal, metal nouveau, sino-punk, synth-punk, cyber-thrash, synthcore, Hong Kong ska, and triple umlaut bands like Umlaut. If there's an album you've been searching for, I might just have it. In return, I'm in search of any weird, obscure bands to add to my library. Let me know! Got any cybercore synth metal? That's what might interest you. I own the complete oeuvre of the German punk band Messerkampf. Heard of them? Messerkampf. Hahaha, they're so mainstream. They're really big in the jazz. Really? Do they tour? No, man, I don't think so. Those Berlin anarchist bands never survived very long. Besides, I think they broke up a really long time ago. They're probably aging wage slaves now. No idea that they're widely popular on the other side of the planet. Looking for a Decker. Looking for experienced Decker for discreet milk run, picking up a very special access card off from wage slave. Potential for a longer term arrangement. We're on a team that's been together for years, running your basic heists, the occasional transport gig. We've got a reliable fixer and a long list of happy clients. You must not take experimental sims you're wrong. You must not tamper with chemicals in secret labs. You must have a good sense of humor. Knock knock. You said a good sense of humor. It's a good joke, see? It's a joke, see? At this point, we're actually more interested in hiring an experienced professional with a mature adult's impulse control. We had some bad luck with our Deckers lately. The last one had 2 left feet and couldn't even stop stumbling into containers full of volatile substances. Poor Run with Scissors 2056. Although looking at her name, I guess we should have known. So basically, you guys are desperate for a Decker. Has anyone else contacted you? We can wait a little longer. Meet me! You guys are starting to get a bad rep, you know. Jinxed. We're sunk. All of us. Swim. As some of you know, I have a keen interest in urban planning, geophysics, and anything involving our eventual and inevitable destruction. Appended is a recent summary on rising sea level in Hong Kong. It expresses the issue well in lay terms. Freedom Cowboy. You complain my post titles are a bit sterile. How's this one? The Sinking of Hong Kong. From HK Newswire, Hong Kong's watery future. The Joint Corporate Development Bureau has released a report on sea level rise in Hong Kong over the next 50 years. Since the year 2000, Hong Kong experienced 9 to 13 meters of water level rise, varying by location. Geologists cite a combination of Antarctic ice melting and the natural sinking of Hong Kong's artificial fill shorefronts and forced subsidence caused by massive urban construction. Geologists predict a continued rise in water levels over the next 50 years, with slowing and subsidence being offset by the accelerating collapse. Slowing land subsidence being offset by the accelerating collapse of the Arctic ice sheet. Quoting from a government geologist, Ao Mingxia, with up to 15 meters of subsidence expected over the next half century, a large fraction of current Hong Kong will become a submarine. Due to our population and small land base, abandonment of flooded land is no longer practical. Rigorous amphibious retrofitting of the city will need to continue. By 2100, the current coastal buildings will mostly rise from a canal environment. Engineering studies indicate that major improvements will be necessary on the coastal seawalls in Victoria Harbour's Shirang Wall, officially the anti-typhoon automated harbour defense jetty. Coastal predictions will need to be raised by half a meter per year to counteract the total effect of rising sea level and the worsening severity of super typhoons. The Development Bureau estimates this may cost 250 billion new yen over the next 5 decades. Climatic models suggest that by 2100, storm surges impinging on Hong Kong shores may exceed 3 meters in height, and wind-driven waves during severe storms may reach 15 meters. So we're going to be running jobs from gondolas in 50 years. That's the message? When one does some simple financial modeling and extrapolates the worsening severity and frequency of super typhoons along with geological outlook, the actual message is that it may be necessary to abandon Hong Kong. WP, I take it back. Keep your sterile titles. What's so endearing about you is that you talk about the grimmest things like an accountant. Double entry accrual accounting is an amazing system. If more operators took an interest in it, they would have much better long-term financial security, as well as be better able to interpret and manipulate materials encountered during their work. It's pretty ironic that your handle shortens to WP, normally associated with white phosphorus. Actually, Hatch, it's not. It's really not. White phosphorus is exceptionally useful, not merely because of its hyperbolic ignition and the fact that once burning it is chemically immune to water quenching, but also because of its high adhesion and biotoxicity. I don't take pleasure in these qualities, but I appreciate them. Burke Operative? Question mark. See attached image dated late 2050. The human in the middle is Simon Zauer, a mercenary fixer in Macau. He's a known quantity. I'm interested in the elf on his left. Anybody recognize this guy? Your person of interest is Rolde Han, aka Whipsaw. He's not a merc. He's a corpo turned runner turned corpo. He's a counter-disruption advisor, currently under contract to Transys Neuronet. Zara is just a broker, but I'm wondering what Whipsaw is doing with the third guy, the troll. Icebreaker. Icebreaker? He doesn't look like a decker. Icebreaker is as big as an icebreaker. The ship. He supposedly ran a paramilitary crew for a while. I've heard of this guy. He vanished 6 years ago. His whole team went completely dark. They were called the Fleet. Word is they hit a big score and retired. Yo guys, we got a metadata that Icebreaker's crew got wiped out, only 2 survivors, and you won't find them. Tin Helmet, I'm tired of your weird-ass rumors. Tin Helmet may be correct. One Fleet associate who Strata posted on the BBS 6 times over the next year. Another Bali song was collected by a bounty hunter. Thanks, White Prism. That's fucking awesome. We all really needed a picture of a woman shot in the face and slumped over a toilet. This isn't a gore board. I swear you got Asperger's or something. That's not necessary. Anybody get work done by an expat named Deleted? He rigs Dockware out and Deleted, but I hear he's better than most Autodoc. Post Deleted. Read the rules, everyone. No one calling out personal specifics or addresses of potentially active operators. Keep it to handles, generalities, and city sectors. At least 9 corporate bots are calling the Haven as we speak. He's the real deal, yo. He's solid and he's in with us. I'm sick of saying it. Anyone who gets Chrome installed by some hack running Dockware in a converted restroom deserves the horrible nerve generation they die from. Those guys saw you up. You'll pay for it. Slaughtable Dockware can't replace a real surgeon. Period. Tech isn't there yet. I've just scoped out the doc in question. Gonna have to rain on your party, Hath. He's basically a family doc who moonlights doing basic cyber. Nice guy, but he's no hitter. Just a big bullshitter. Archaeopteryx, you don't know shit. Car bombing in Colin City today near Salisbury and Nathan. Triad hit. Extremists. Triads don't usually use car bombs when terrorists want a substantial blast to kick fragments. This one is a small explosive, but burned like an oil well. Voila! HKPD PD report appended. 1 fatality, the driver, guy named Ripshot, burned almost beyond identification. Ripshot, he's a rigger. He rolls for the fleet. He's got a long enemies list. No crazy taste. I don't know why people keep associating the fleet with this Ripshot guy. The fleet's rigger is a Shenzhen guy called Chainlink. Yeah, Ripshot has a lot of enemies, but he's a Cow Pro Croc Shaman over in Kwantong, and he's not dead. Several people have operated in Hong Kong under the handle Ripshot in last year. None of them are linked to the fleet, but that crew is known to spread misinformation about their composition, so who knows. I see the body identification made from limb DNA, a skull fragment, and the footage from a nearby CCTV camera. White Prism, Amanita, are you gonna go conspiracy theorists on us again? Alright. Attending a party. Let's go to a party. I don't know what party it is. I'm gonna look at what was in my stash. I'll go do it real quick, because I don't know that I can do it from the screen. Like, I think you had to be able to equip it to take it with you, and you can't, Oh, also I gotta sleep, that's right. That's why I need to sleep. And have a bedroom. So this requires 7. So that would take 14, which we could do. It's not unreasonable. Just kind of wish I had better conjuring stuff available, but I kind of want to spend this, even though I don't have the deck. That's the thing. I don't have the money for the deck, so I don't know that it really is worth it. Probably not. Okay, so now I can equip this in place of Monobolt or Monoball. Let's go to sleep. You awaken from a blank, featureless sleep, sweat-soaked and starving. You feel uneasy, but you can't say why. Groggily, you heave yourself out of bed. Alright, let's go. Okay. Let's go to the Repulse Bay Hotel to bring up information on Neville Maw. I don't remember what this mission is. Okay, I should probably actually, like... Yeah, okay. Damn it. Should have done this while I was there, but I didn't think about it. I'm going to go back and actually read the mission description because I want to know if there's specific characters I should take on things. And I don't remember. So I gotta go to my computer. Jobs directory. View active jobs. Okay, what's it? Get to Repulse Bay, dig up some dirt on Neville, and maybe get Penny Wong out of her contract. Don't care how you do it, just get me something I can use to get ahead of Neville. You do good, I'm your friend for life, okay? Okay, that's a new one. Okay. Restaurant job. Okay. So the one we're going on is the one for Ractor, I believe. Should be good because that lets us continue Ractor's dialogue. He's in his, I'm just trying to prepare for the mission dialogue right now. I know you take Ractor anyway because riggers are good. Well, maybe this actually isn't that one, but if it's not, there's not anyone else who needs to be around along, so... Fucking hell. It's a laser designator. Illuminati. Oh, I forgot about El Duce. What a fucking nerd. Duncan. This is my standard party. You arrive at the eponymously named Repulse Bay, a gleaming hotel and apartment building on the shores of Repulse Bay, Hong Kong Island. Rolling storm clouds choke the sky, lending the structure a sinister appearance. As you push through the doors and into the building, a sudden break in the clouds reveals a sun that's gone red as blood. You make your way to a ground floor elevator. The attendant pays you no mind. As the car begins to climb, you hear the sounds of merriment draw closer. As the doors slide open, you find Neville Boss' party in full swing. Not me, not you, not you. Yes, you. Oops. I did not know. I wanted this. Okay, I want to be able to see their skills, but I was like, can Gobbet? I guess Gobbet can equip that. So, might as well. I have an extra med kit. Should go to someone. Probably Gobbet. The elevator disgorges you onto the mezzanine with little fanfare. Off in the distance, you can hear the sounds of clinking glasses, carefree laughter, and silverware and china. Kinda out of my element here, Cade. Not much of a party person. How do you want to handle this? Check the apartment first? My vote is party. Can we go to the party? Well, we'll play it by ear. I don't know the scene any better than you do. That's probably the wisest choice. He strokes his chin, and Koshai fleshes its articulated limbs in anticipation. Lead on. We will follow. Alright, so this is not the reactor one, but it's fine. Ooh. Day special. Buddha's Delight. A sullen-looking troll stands in the periphery of the kitchen. He turns to you, shoulders slumped forward and sighs. No restaurant service tonight. The kitchen staff's too busy with the party to serve anyone. Wish I could get onto that balcony. He sniffs the air wistfully. All that delicious food. See, this guy knows what's up. Why can't you get in? Guests only. The guy throwing it seems connected to the trid industry. Tons of actors in there. Some of them from Promises and Moonlight. Fiddles shyly. You know the show, right? I'm afraid not. Whines excitedly. You need to see it. It's the best show on Tridio ever. Leans in, faces inches from yours. Ever. I'll get right on that. Good luck with the kitchen, buddy. Time for some decking! My shitty decking programs. It's expensive to keep up with this. But, oh boy. Um, Whoops, I didn't actually mean to go. Oh boy. There's no good spot to run to. Okay, I gotta remember how to do this. do not like any of these mechanics. Whoop. Okay. Search for information. Apartment door code. That's nice. Search other records. Events. One event found. Yellow Springs Films private property mezzanine level front desk indicates 6 unclaimed invitations. Yes, please give me an invitation. Planned hotel expansion. Okay. That's metadata. Maintenance logs. Reams of data. Everything's organized by reference numbers. It's incredibly confusing system without knowing what number to search for. There's little value to see here. Okay. It doesn't look like there's anything else here. So let's disconnect. So what are we trying to look for? Optional. Go to his party. You're trying to find incriminating evidence. Alright, so we have the way to get into his apartment. We also have his party. Ragged waiter manages to straighten up as you approach. Good evening, ma'am. Welcome to veranda at the Repulse Bay. How may I be of service? What's with the guard on the balcony? There's a private party outside. Our establishment provides security for any event that requires it. But don't worry, the balcony will free again in a few hours. You look exhausted. Why don't you take a break? Not yet. I can't afford to miss any tips. Besides, I went to Macau last week and it wiped me out. Bad luck with the horses, you know. I'm in a pretty lucrative trade myself. I don't need this information. Penelope Wong, huh? Security guard stands in front of the patio, bored expression on his face. He looks you up and down as you approach. Private party bell. Invitation only. There you go. Takes the invitation and scrutinizes it. Looks at you, reluctance plain on his face. Enjoy the party, ma'am. Who is that? The producer. Well, we gotta talk to Penelope Wong. The glamorous starlet flashed you a standard celebrity smile. Lovely, but emotionless. Good evening, Penelope Wong, but please call me Penny. Fantastic party, Penny. Please extend my thanks to Mr. Ma. I'm Miss Argo. He'll be delighted to hear it. Our Neville takes any chance he can get to show how well Yellow Spring Studios is doing. Do you know him well? Oh, right. Not well, no, but we move in the same circles. I'm shocked that he's out of bed, much less hosting a party. She nods eagerly. We all are. I must admit I nearly died of fright when I heard what happened. Look at Neville now. You'd never guess he's been hurt. It's miraculous, isn't it? Miracles cost a lot of new yen these days. Must have been some expensive treatments. You think so? She sips her drink. I've never stayed in a hospital myself. Don't believe the paparazzi either. My nose has never seen the knife. Is it very expensive to undergo such miraculous treatments it is? Very expensive. You think he's gotten someone new to invest in his studio? Someone new? For a moment she's lost in thought, face twisted in concentration. No, I don't think so. But Neville did make some new friends while he was in Guangzhou. Go on. There was a woman, I can't remember her name, who now visits Neville regularly. I hear she's quite the fashionista. They sound close. Penelope shrugs. They seem to get on well. I'm a little sad he's never introduced us, though. She's supposed to make an appearance tonight. Very much looking forward to meeting her. Penelope's gaze drifts over your shoulder for a moment. She smiled at someone behind you. Oh, please excuse me. That's Mr. Yao, and I promised him I'd say hello tonight. Enjoy the party. Thank you, Penny. It was a pleasure. Partygoer raised an eyebrow at your approach. They're serving century-old Cabernet like punch here. It's hard to believe considering how much a single bottle costs. It's even harder to believe Mr. Ma's hosting his party, and so soon after his accident. I heard about that. Doesn't seem to have slowed him down. The man's a machine. He smirks, amused by himself. Not literally. But he might as well be the way he sprang back after being T-booned at 140 clicks an hour. Jesus, how's he even standing? I don't know how, but here he is, alive and kicking. Or dining, regaling, what have you. If you ask me, it's all that positive chi the fans have stirred up. I heard their entire message boards praying for him and making offerings at temples. The Matrix is nuts for promises in Moonlight. If Ma had negotiated a second season, his fans would just as easily have turned on him. Well, that's all it takes to win immortality. Maybe I should become famous too. Isn't that why we're all here? To be famous, become famous, or make someone else famous? Catch sight of someone across the room and waves. Lisa, over here. Gives you a curt nod. Nice talking to you. Let's not talk to Neville Ma. Oh, hi, Mary. And hi, Sierra. What's good? I just got an ad for Elder Scrolls Elsewhere, and I can't wait to be disappointed in the execution of the region that is so a little favorite piece of lore in all of Elder Scrolls. Yes, I've seen the ad. Well, I've seen the ad and muted it, and then not paid attention to it. Oh, I knew what it was. Although it's good for Mary. It is also my favorite book in Elder Scrolls. Take the elevator to the penthouse floor. Penthouse floor. Oh man. We justly take by force. This is a standard hotel door protected by a simple hydraulic locking mechanism. Keypad is mounted beside the door frame. Oh, we can use astral perception. 6, 1, 5, 3. Your third eye. Thanks, third eye. I already knew that, but... Wait, what? Oh. Leave. 1635. Whoops. Hey, you know, elsewhere, this fantastical region where there's a really complicated political relationship and a really interesting culture. What if you gave me the dressing of that? Put dragons in it. You like Skyrim dragons, right? I mean, you know, it's... Yeah. I don't think modern Bethesda in any capacity could make that. This is just a room full of suits? I thought this was a server room before I zoomed in or scrolled over this. Apparently it's very cold in here. Rows and rows of finely tailored suits, custom shoes, and various accessories fill this room. Oh my god, fucking rich people. What is this music? This fridge is well stocked. There's enough food in here to feed a big party. Get check out his liquor cabinet is full of expensive wines and spirits. Several decanters sit atop it, but one in particular catches your eye. A bottle of brilliantly bright red wine. I don't know why I would steal a sip. The opposite side of the living room is dominated by a massive security door. It's much heavier than the exterior apartment door and looks like a recent addition. The walls clearly been reinforced to support it. A series of top-of-the-line commercial-grade mag locks hold the door sealed. It'd be easier to tunnel through the wall than it would be to break them open. Well, let's get at it. Just send the robot to tunnel through here. The game I would want in Elsewhere would be a spiritual successor to Morrowind in a way that Bethesda has neither the interest nor I suspect the capability to do. Imagine modern Bethesda doing Chim or Vivek. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're just a much, they're a much more profit-oriented company now. They're much more managed, obviously. I mean, if you read that thing about the making of Morrowind, it was very clear that, like, even though they'd been making games, before that, up to that point, Morrowind was still, like, a fucking mess of a thing that... Oh, God, that article was amazing. Both for, like... I mean, it's amazing both for, like, the kind of standard stories, but also, obviously, all the stories about Todd Howard in that article are just, like... about the team fucking with him and him being, I guess they're kind of like, well, he's the guy who got the game out the door, I guess, but also them just manipulating the hell out of him in order to get anything interesting in the game. It's, What is this music? It's so weird. A cursory glance at the doorframe reveals no sign of a keypad or jackpoint, but you do see what appears to be an RFID reader. 16-digit number has been stenciled onto the side of the reader in red ink. This didn't come with the apartment. Looks new. Monster had put it in after the accident. Wonder why I chose to have this done to an interior door. To keep up appearances, I think. Can you imagine what installing this monstrosity in the hallway would do to the building's aesthetic? People would talk about it. That's exactly what a man like Ma doesn't want to have happen. Well, one thing is certain. We aren't getting through there without a key. Most likely, that means that we'll have to get one from Ma, or from one of his people. Ah, shucks. I guess we'll just have to go back to the party. I mean, that is the next logical step. Tell me we're going to the party! I don't know. Let's keep looking out of here. I mean, we're not going to look around here, but I don't know that we're necessarily going to be getting something from the party, because I don't know where we would get one. Is anyone new out here? Oh, hello. Oh no, that's still Penelope wrong. Dodger again. Do you have a key fob for Neville's security door? No, that's not gonna help. Where would we get one? I guess we can talk to Neville and see if we can somehow pocket one off of him, but that seems incredibly... I don't have any, there's not like a pickpocket skill in this game. And I surely do not have whatever skill it would be to do it, if they did something like that. Neville Ma's dressed in an immaculate suit, surveying his party from the edge of the balcony. As you approach, he inclines his head respectfully. Good evening, miss. I'm sorry, I don't believe I've been formally introduced. Holy shit, look at that shit-eating grin on his face. He straightens his wristwatch. I'm Neville Ma, owner of Yellow Spring Studios. Pleasure's all mine, Mr. Ma. Call me Ms. Argent. Well, I told Penelope Wong I was Miss Argyle. Why am I not giving a consistent name? Thanks so much for hosting this gala. You're very welcome. It's important to show the industry and the press that Promises in Moonlight is doing well, and that we're still a local operation. I hope that you're enjoying yourself. Use astral perception to sense Neville Maw. Focusing your senses, you concentrate on Ma's aura. Your third eye slides open, unveiling the hidden reality of the astral plane. The walls of the veranda balcony go gray and cold, and Neville Maw explodes into scintillating light. Judging by the state of his aura, Ma appears to be in good health. His essence is slightly frayed, sort of damage associated with the standard data jack, but otherwise he appears more or less intact. You do, however, detect a faint tinge of discoloration on the periphery of his aura. A chronic illness might darken the aura in this way, but I've never seen anything quite like this before. Having seen what you said, what there is to see, your third eye slides shut again. If Ma's aware that you have sensed him, he doesn't show it. I heard about your accident. How did it happen? He sighs. It seems as though it's all anyone wants to hear about these days. To be honest, I'm getting rather tired of repeating the story. Suffice it to say, a delivery truck, a drone, experienced a glitch and ran a red light. If it hadn't hit me, it would have hit someone else. You think it was intentional? What, the glitch? I can't rule it out, but that seems rather far-fetched to me. I'm just a Tridio producer, hardly the sort of man to find himself on anybody's enemies list. You were discharged from the hospital pretty quickly after your accident. Treatment's must have been expensive. Not especially. Guangzhou's hospitals are top tier. Confidentially, my rapid recovery mostly came down to luck. The accident could have been a lot worse than it was. I owe Eurocar a lot of thanks for their safety features. My pleasure. Please enjoy the party. I mean, I feel like bringing up his security door to him is not a good idea, or bringing it up to them. I feel like we need to find something. Oh, right. Aha. Well, it's annoying because I have to get back across. There's a thing that said we couldn't, the maintenance records that said we couldn't get anything useful out of it because it was all organized by really long numbers and we didn't have a number. So now we have a giant 16-digit number, but now I have to do this dumb stealth thing again. Oh no. Made it. Enter the records, maintenance logs, enter the reference number for Ma's security door. Yeah. Security door installation. Keys issued 3 of 3. 1 Ma Neville, 2 Wong Penelope, 3 King Victor. Okay. So Penelope does have one. And Victor Kang has one. Sad that we can't get an override or anything from here, but I guess that's fair. Is Victor the producer? Where'd the producer go? Is he gone? No, he's still there. We just can't talk to him. So, we don't know who Victor is. Let's go back upstairs, see if there's anything up there. Penthouse floor. There is not anything up here. So there's still the liquor cabinet. Let's take a sip of the liquor, I guess. Kick a gulp and quickly gag. The wine's strangely warm, giving the temperature of the room, and disgustingly salty. What's wrong with you, woman? Do you usually dip into people's wines collection while illegal searching your houses? Searching their houses? Just one more sip. What is going on with this interaction? Duncan pulls an alcohol swab from his belt pouch and wipes off the mouth of the decanter, mumbling angrily to himself. He shakes his head. I swear, Kate, sometimes. Well, okay, that was pointless. Is there going to be some detail about why it's weird and salty? It just feels like it's a terrible idea to be just going in and asking them about their security door. I've got some questions about Neville Maw. You heard of him? Expressing clouds. Certainly. Everyone knows Mr. Maw. Yeah? What kind of guy is he? Between you and me, he's difficult. We're just putting it lightly. Man runs the staff ragged. Jerks us in the direction of the veranda. That's his party out there. Richies like him love to display their wealth. Sounds like you have some stories. Lowers his voice like you wouldn't believe. He once made a handful of us walk all the way out to Sheko to fetch dumplings for his guests. It was pouring out with winds blowing around 50 kilometers per hour. Practically a death march in that weather. Why didn't the kitchen here make Ma some dumplings? Ma said the kitchen's dumplings weren't good enough. Called them peasant food in front of all his guests. Chef Kang was furious, of course. Oh, it's the chef. But since Ma's rich, hotel management told us to give him whatever he wanted. By the time we got back from Sheko, the dumplings were cold, the party was over, and Ma retired to his suite with a pair of starlets. We had to pay for those dumplings out of our own damn pockets. A couple days later, Kevin came down with a no-name from the trip. Lost his job over it. And that's just one of our experiences with him. Needless to say, no one here is a fan of the man, but we're paid to serve attendants here, so that's what we do. It's a living. There's a heavy security door in Neville Ma's apartment. Know anything about that? The waiter opens his mouth to reply, then pauses. Just how do you know about that? When were you in Ma's apartment? A few days ago. I left something in there and I need to get it back. We don't want to cause a scene. I mean, we could go bother Ma during his party, but that would just look just as bad for you as it would for us. He lowers his voice. Tell you what, try talking to Chef Kang in the kitchen. He's got keys to just about every door in the place. On VIP request, he's expected to personally deliver their meal. It's a status thing. Compliments the chef or whatever. Poor guy spends as much time delivering food as he has cooking it. Thanks. No problem. Just don't mention I sent you, alright? Chef's a vengeful man. I don't want to get on his bad side. Yeah, so I could have gotten away. I don't know if this guy was able to be talked to before. Chef looks up from his pot of boiling water, red-faced and sweating. A name tag is printed on his lapel. Chef Victor Kang. He was not. You had to talk to the waiter first. Okay, that's weird. Well, I guess if it was until... I wonder if I could have backed out without actually asking, as soon as he said Kang, without actually asking him about the door. That would have been okay. Thought I told him to send in the waiter. Who the hell are you? I heard you could help me get through Neville Ma's apartment security. Yeah, I could do that, and I could also lose my job for it, even go to jail. Sounds like a real winner of a proposition to me. Strains a vat of boiled fish through a sieve. Got work to do, stranger. Doors that way. I don't understand how Mom can get away with ragging on your cuisine. I mean, you fed this whole party. You deserve better, man. Expressing hardens. Yeah, cost me a raise and a whole lot of face. Bet that bastard didn't lose a wink of sleep over it either. In a single motion, the chef lops off a fish's head. How about an exchange? Your key fob for Ma's guaranteed discomfort. Yeah, gladly. He grabs a plastic tap from his apron pocket. Okay, no longer worried about getting fired or going to jail once he gets reminded of revenge. Grabs a plastic tab from his apron pocket and tosses it to you. Ruin him, will you? Or at the very least, ruin his day. Consider it a bonus if you reckon his anemic girlfriend and giddy starlet's days too. Sure, but I'll need to know more, especially about this girlfriend. What's her name? He snaps his fingers irritably. Ku Fang, that's it. She's the rich wench who paid for Ma's hospital stay. Skinny, anemic thing. Never eats. All she ever orders is cheap red wine. Is she a vampire? Did I drink blood? And am I an idiot who is incapable of detecting blood? Please tell me that's what happened. First I thought it was a fling, but now I'm not so sure. Maybe you could split them up. I'd thank you for it. You literally drank blood, and I went back for more, and my character did not recognize it. Don't suppose she takes her wine warmed and salted. I've heard rumors. A warm, salty wine? What a disaster. No, she just orders wine. Plain old wine. Doesn't stop her from slipping her own seasonings, though. Alright, thanks for your help, Chief. No, thank you. I mean, I guess if she's actually ordering wine, then it's presumably not blood, but... she's probably some other kind of monster, even though there are vampires in Shadowrun. They tend to like other monsters. Sierra says, listen, I've drank shitty box wine before, and even I would notice the difference. I mean, I don't know that my character's ever has drunk even shitty boxed wine. She grew up on the streets. I guess, I mean, she was and then was like in prison for a long time, so. As you approach the door, a light set into your key fob goes from red to green. There's a loud series of thunks, and the door slides open. A blast of frigid air floods into the room from the other side. Hello there! Room service! Sewell's character is straight edge. I mean, probably not by choice, but just by, like, circumstance. Myself, on the other hand, personally. An expensive consumer-grade computer terminal awaits your input. The display background is set to a screen capture from Promises in Moonlight. Penelope Wong's radiant face beams at you from a corner of the screen. This must be Ma's personal terminal. Can't think of a better place to dig for dirt on the man. A few keystrokes all take scan the computer's file structure. With the high-tech security door in his apartment, it seems Ma never bothered to encrypt his machine. Search financial records. Noel's financial records are astoundingly boring, aside from two major things. He spent next to nothing on his hospital bills, where he appeared to stayed only for 3 days, and he's spending a lot of money on a woman named Ku Fang. Jewelry, bills, clothes, and such. You read through Ma's email. Most of it's spam and boring business arrangement, but one detail stands out. Neville Ma's frequently emailing a woman named Ku Fang. They seem close, exchanging a lot of thinly veiled flirtation. It appears that Neville has been lavishing Ku Fang with money and affection. Expensive gifts, rent checks, miserable attempts at poetry, seeing to it that her every need is met. Why, if she was the rich one who paid for his hospital stay, why would he be pouring gifts on her? That doesn't make sense. Which is, I assume is that that's intentional. Push the button, you unlock the office door. An ominous thunk reverberates throughout the cold steel apartment. Room service? Housekeeping? Without warning, a frigid wind blows through the apartment. The chill cuts through your clothing, raising goose flesh all over your body. Where is that coming from? There's another blast of cold, and a pale and imposing woman materializes out of thin air. A throng of blank-faced men and women materialize alongside her. Ah, the little dog has been sniffing around Neville Maw's affairs. Oh, that's definitely a vampire. Okay, that's just straight up a vampire. Her voice is imperious, arrogant. Ku Feng, I presume. She nods. Just so. My servants have been watching you since you arrived. I suspect that you are an evil woman, and that you are here to do harm to Neville. And so I came to stop you. Let's read her aura. You focus your vision on the astral plane and expand your senses, taking the woman's aura. Black shadows color essence, the kind of markings often found in the auras of terminal cancer patients and vampires. Hang on a second. Lady with who bright red lips and black hair and pale skin and two poking canines out of the top of your lip. Are you a vampire? Very astute. She grins at you, displaying a set of sharp-looking teeth. And what do you intend to do about me, now that you've had this revelation? So, Elf, I don't know why you'd think a rando shows up out of nowhere with a throng of thralls in this place where blood masquerades as wine, who is a character of a vampire, might actually be a vampire. Wait. I've heard stories about Chinese vampires before. Aren't you supposed to, hop? Her expression darkens. I am far too dignified to hop. Peasants hop. Animals hop. I stride. This one absolutely is just a scene kid who never grew out of that phase. That's the only people who actually double down when you ask them if you're a vampire. Throw some rice, you'll be fine. I mean, that's a thing, right? Is that in Shadowrun, I'm pretty sure there are mythological monsters that don't exist in Shadowrun. I don't remember any off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it's a thing that exists. But people have basically made themselves into them because of all the genetic modification and cybernetics and stuff. She's ashamed of hopping. No more foolish questions. I am Ku Feng, and I will tolerate no disrespect. She folds her arms across her chest. I suspect that you are an evil woman. I think you are here to do harm to Neville, and I am here to stop you. I mean, you said that before. I couldn't be less interested in hurting Neville, lady. I'm just here to finish a job. If that is true, then it is a shame. You have seen my face, and you know what I am. Naturally, I cannot allow you to leave, and you can't afford to fight me here for fear of police involvement. She lifts her chin imperiously. Perhaps we can settle this in a more civilized manner. A face-off in a neutral location. Will you accept my challenge? Duel at midnight. Yeah, that works for me. Very well. She steeples her fingers. As for the terms, if I win, you willingly submit to my influence. You become my pawn. And if you win, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. She nods, grinning. Wait 15 minutes for the sun to go down, then come to the roof. We'll settle this there, like gentlemen and ladies. No! God damn it. I was really hoping the game was just gonna let me, let her walk off, and then I'm just gonna get the shit I need and leave and just drive away. That was my plan. That was my whole thought for that sequence was, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. Please let me do this game. I was so sad that I really thought that's what it was leading to. I'm really sad that that's not what happened. Because she's such a fucking dork. The sun dips below the horizon. Mist coalesces, coating the rooftop in dew. Ku Feng and her cohorts appear. Yeah, I have no idea why the roof is, apparently absent police attention. Yeah, she totally would have fallen for it. Oh, she put her hair down. Ooh, well, kind of. Or something. Her portrait's just different. Are you prepared to become my servant, human? You must not resist, or I'll be forced to kill you. Should it come to that, I'll endeavor to make it swift and painless, but No promises. Let's see what you got. This will be entertaining. Kill her! I mean, you just said you were gonna defeat me and then thrall me, not kill me straight up. Hey, no fair, you got more people than I do. Okay, so they're pretty spread out. Let's see here. So what do I need to do? I got my big ball. Oh, that's my shitty ball. This is my big ball. But I probably want to get out of the way, so I probably want to do that. Who's this likely to hit? There's literally a civilian up here. There's literally a witness. Oh wait, no, they're all marked as civilians. Never mind. Okay, those are just bad guys. I don't know why they're marked as civilians. Oh, is the idea that these... But they're armed! Why does she have armed thralls? Like armed civilian thralls rather than regular. So is the idea then to theoretically like... Okay. I'm gonna go get you. Can you activate this? You will have to use both of your actions, which we don't really want to do. Okay. At least not yet. Does this do? Okay. These are all bad. Yeah, we're just in a really bad position to start with. It does not deal a lot of damage. So you gotta start your drone up, buddy. Then you need to retreat as well. Let's see. I mean, I guess we could try and fire at her. It just seems like she's got a ton of armor too. That's gonna be a problem, actually. I think we're gonna have to shoot through everyone else. Issue is from right here. Yeah, okay. Wow, you missed an 88% shot. You're kind of shit. You don't have not good shots with your sniper right now. Oh shit. Forgot that he was gonna shoot. I forgot about that. Also, wait. Okay. 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 It's fine. I'm not saying it's the wrong choice. You're a Shadowrunner after all. That's true. If they were not, like, yeah. Oh, okay. I guess they're not very good. So there's that. Okay. So where is she? She was over here. Overclock your drone. Gotta pimp your ride. Where'd she go? Oh, she's right there. Shit, I didn't realize. Okay. One, she's got a lot of health. That's what we figured out there. 15, 18. No, we want this. Oh, we want to. I think we want to do this. Yeah, she has a ton of armor. Is that not taking action? Does these not take actions? Can I just throw grenades? Oh, that took an action. Okay. That's weird. We're just gonna keep shooting? Oh, you missed? Oh, that's fine. Oh, she's running! Ouch. Oh, minus 1 AP, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. Oh, haste. I had haste on, that's right. That makes more sense. Fucking hell, it's bad. Okay, Gobbit. I need you to heal me. We also probably need to save my life. Wow, is my haste already out? Didn't last very long. Lasted long in that. Where's she? She's right there. I can use a regular one here. Fucking hell. Alright. That does not deal enough damage. Those don't deal enough damage. Oof. I don't know what to do to save myself here. Other than... Oh, I got, never mind, the haste. I forgot he lost 1 AP from getting hit, so he still does have haste on. Jesus, come on. Yes. Haste is the spell that breaks tactical RPG. I mean, anything that, anything that grants extra actions. Like World of Darkness had Celerity, which is just the thing that makes you better than everyone else, regardless of your, like... They had the whole thing where in, I mean, the World of Darkness games are not actually supposed to be played with each other because they have slightly different rules, which is dumb as fuck. Because why would you not want to have a party with, like, a vampire and a werewolf and a mage and shit? But, like, the way that the setting is set up, right, is that werewolves are, like, the ultimate combat things. And vampires are supposed to be, they can kill humans, but they're not as good as werewolves. And vampires have celerity, which gives them bonus actions. And werewolves don't. So guess who wins in a fight? What are you gonna do, Gobbet? I mean, it's obviously possible for a werewolf to win, but neither of these people. Can you like heal? I mean, that's not gonna help. We just have to finish her off and hope that that ends the fight. Otherwise, we're gonna trauma kit you. There's not really any way to actually prevent me from going down, which is unfortunate. We could use this though. Let's do this. Oh, it only has one action. Why does it only have one action? Target ignores all enemies. Last one round. Yeah. It's the same reason that like initiative in D&D is really good, because it's effectively a bonus action on the first round of combat. And that is good enough that it's like just entirely worthwhile to... Can we get you, wait, what is the... I just got an achievement. Kill an enemy with damage over time. Did I? Oh, somebody on fire died? Where's my... Why is the robot down? Oh, did the robot die? Or what? I'm so confused. The robot's not dead. Did it like lose line of... Is it because we lost line of sight to the robot? Okay, go like out here. Oh, okay, the robot must be dead. Heal the robot. Thank you. That's what I get for not paying attention. Yeah, D&D, especially properly spec party will just alpha strike and encounter out of existence with high enough level. Yeah, it's a problem with having a system where there's no limits on being able to use your most powerful abilities in the first round right away. And there is, in fact, a great incentive to do so. Yeah. You need to fucking murder her. Wow. That's what your 50% 5 rolls looks like. Jesus Christ, you idiot. Where are her spells? Fuck. Oh, this gives you... Okay. I don't remember how this works, but we need abilities now, so... Jesus, come on! There we go. Fucking punch it! 70 fucking %! Oh, she just shot the robot again. Oh no. Oh, that's actually bad. That means the fight has to get won here. These people are dealing a lot of damage. I guess because they get... Are they like flanking? Is that the crits? I'm not sure what is doing the crits here, but... Alright, you can't do anything. So I guess you shoot. Hey, you... Jesus. I mean, at least that's reasonable. Uh-oh. That's bad. I think that means I'm dead. Alright, so I don't know if it's possible to do this without killing these people. I mean, I already killed, like, 2 of them, but... I was trying to kill less of them. Also, I don't know when I saved. Oh, I do think I saved relatively... I didn't save the start of the fight. But... in this game, at least, haste is, you know, it's one person spends 2 actions to give one single other person. It's not a, you know, it's not a group ability to give them. Oh, Jesus Christ! You gotta be kidding me. Why are there no autosaves? Come on. Also, some of the fights in this game are like somewhat difficult. I don't think this is correct, but oh, okay, that's good enough. I mean, yes, that's what I do. I mean, you don't really have a lot of control over your anyone's abilities that aren't you in this game. You have like each time they level up, quote unquote, which I mean levels don't exist in this game, but they do for your companions for the purpose of this. You get a choice of 1 of 2 abilities along a pre-chosen track. But you can equip and their equipment like upgrades automatically and stuff. Although you can give them new equipment technically if you want to spend the money on it, but it's not really worth it most of the time. But I have Duncan. I bought him a sniper rifle since he doesn't have a sniper rifle naturally, and he has rifle skill. Yep. I gotta talk to you about this. I just gotta do this again. I mean, I remember in Star Wars Saga Edition, which was actually a really good version of D&D 3.5 that was built from the prototypes of 4th edition that they abandoned. And so there's a class, one of the base classes in that game is the Noble class, which is like supposed to represent Princess Leia and similar kinds of characters. Like one of their class features is just like getting money, which is dumb. But one of their other things is they're like one of their basic combat abilities is to just trade their action to, I don't even remember what it's called in Saga Edition. It just trades their action to another character to let another character attack for them. They basically order another character to attack, and that's their attack action. Which is also in D&D 4th edition with Warlords. They have Commander Strike, which is the same thing. And it's really fucking good because it means you don't have to spend any of your character resources on being good at attacking. As long as someone else in your party is that, you are effectively good at attacking by proxy. And then you can spend your resources on doing other things. Okay, so... don't remember if we can save during combat or not. Yeah, I mean, 4th edition is like, it had a lot of interesting, ambitious ideas. It was also kind of a, you know, a giant mess of a thing, but I think a lot of the stuff that, because they were developing a 4th edition that was fairly different from what 4th edition ended up being, and then they abandoned it for bad reasons. We don't all know, but there's behind the scenes stuff about the team and stuff, and office politics basically. And they after they had canceled it, that version of the game, they took those books and turned them into both a series of 3.5 splat books. So they took their stuff they had already gotten rid of and then turned it into like selling it as new 3.5 books, which is like the Book of Nine Swords. And they also turned it into Star Wars Saga Edition. And like Book of Nine Swords is one of the most popular source books for 3.5 edition among players. People fucking loved it. And it was the shit they had already thrown. They were selling it after they had already thrown it out. And so there was like, some of that came out at first, and it was sort of phrased, oh, this is the test bed for 4th edition. This is, they're trying to get feedback, they're testing stuff out, and people were like, fucking great, this is great, we love it, this is what you should do. And it was only years later we found out that book was published after they had already canceled that version. Yeah, I mean it's a turn-based miniatures war game. Yeah, it's not like actually. There we go. God. Alright, so we gotta kill all these people, unfortunately. I tried. Can I just save here? Oh, I can. Okay. Create a new save in case there's any reason to go back. So I think I do this first. Great. We activate your bot. And you are gonna then run away. You are gonna shoot some people. Oh, we got a 93% on that. Sure. No adjacent targets. Nice. Nice. We don't want to haste you, so we want to. What are you gonna do? What does your like regular damage do? 8. But it fires 2 attacks. Only 66%, 5% chance to hit though. Probably worth it though. Probably preferable. Yep. Okay, now you retreat. Assume by aura is still going. Okay, 1 down. So where am I gonna run? Here? The robot's gonna get shot, but that's fine. Duncan. I think you're gonna get hit, which sucks. Maybe I should have run myself over here to get hit by this instead. I'm just worried about the AP damage. But we'll have to see. Here she comes. Please don't throw a big AoE. Oh, that's fine. Gee, what the fuck is that run? Ooh, ouch. Oh, she's got a gun. Okay. Okay. This is fine. I think. Haste Duncan. Koshai. Hit her. Need you to overclock. Oh, that's good. Yeah, he's got a super haste for his robot now, which is great. Duncan. Oh, that's a person. Didn't even realize. Well, Okay. I do not have a heal. I have a lightning bolt. Tempting, but she gets healing, so that's actually not very useful. That's nice. Oh, missed that 80%. It happens. Whoops. Missed that 94%. Okay, she's still dead. Jesus. Is she gonna punch the robot? She missed it, punching the robot. Raptor is... Okay, that's actually the least important person to lose an AP. Okay, I need you to get healed. What? Why did it not heal you? Thank you. And we need to shoot this person. Oh, that's all that does. That's not helpful. Nice. Oh, he's not dead. Fuck. Okay. Robot. What you gonna do, robot? The robot has grenades. I didn't know the robot has grenades. Oh, she did not lose AP. Said she was unbalanced. Huh. She's apparently immune to flashbangs. Haste is still on. Okay. is still on. Weakness and strength. I think she's in. I'm not getting the circles for when she's in it. I mean, granted, no one else is in it there, so. Although if she's immune to AP, then this is not AP damage. This is not worthwhile. I don't know. Unclear. Oh boy. Okay. Ow. Yeah, she healed 10 damage. Clock is still on cooldown. Nice. Not change things. Flanks, but didn't deal a lot of bonus damage. Oh, hey, we got her! Okay, so you only have to get her down fairly low. Oh, maybe that would have been possible. Kufeng's calm and haughty demeanor dissolves, her eyes go wild. Wait, I surrender! Don't kill me! What's wrong? Not feeling so powerful now? She clasps her hands, pleading. The whole Mistress of the Night thing is just an act. I'm just an encounter that got infected. I don't really know how to fight. I was faking it. I just wanted to scare you into backing down. And accountant. She nods. I was on a business trip to Shanwei last year. I went to a rave, got drunk, passed out, and I woke up. I was in an alley, and someone had done this to me. And so you just, what, decided to embrace the whole vampire thing? What choice did I have? I couldn't go back to work. It was a dead-end job anyway. No upward mobility, no room for growth. Dead-end job? Huh? I did what anyone would have done. I tried to make the best of it, to capitalize on my new abilities. I'm a vampire now. I can't control that. I can't control how I choose to monetize it. So what was your end game? How did you see this working out? Oh, beats me. It's not like I have a rule book for this or anything. I'm just making it up as I go along. Who knows? Maybe I could eventually become the vampire queen of Repulse Bay. Well, she actually is a vampire, Sierra. She's an accountant who was turned into a vampire at a rave and who just decided to go with it. She's like, I just thought I could intimidate people because I'm a vampire, and then I don't know what I was doing. So this whole thing has just been you improvising. Pretty much, yeah. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just doing my best. She looks away in shame. Her voice goes flat. Look, if I'm ever found out, I'll be killed for bounty money. It's either this or get gunned down by a vampire hunter. Shouldn't your family or coworkers be looking for you? Not if I can help it. You think I want them to see me like this? As far as my friends and family are concerned, I'm missing. Have been for months. They probably think I'm dead. Chest just hitches. She looks miserable. I think that's for the best. I mean, how could I explain what I'd become? Can you imagine how ashamed my family would be to find that I'd become a monster? No, it's better that they think I'm dead. So, can we call a truce or something? I scratch your back. You let me live. She clasps her hands together, pleading. What do you say? My dude, you got email. Just tell him you're on vacation. She got all this money. She could, yeah, she can even get some like makeup and stuff. It's probably fine. I think we can work something out. Do you want to join my crew too? I bet we could teach you to be a fighter with your vampire abilities. I already got a zombie. She nods eagerly. Yes, yes, anything. Just tell me what you need. First off, I want some answers. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. You ask the questions and I'll answer. No lying, I promise. How are you and Neville Maw connected? I happen to be in the same hospital he was, trolling for a meal. I don't like to drink blood from unwilling people, so I go to hospitals at night looking for people who won't mind if I take a sip. People in comas, patients with terminal illnesses, that kind of thing. It makes me feel better about what I have to do. How is a person in a coma not an unwilling person? Is this just a you don't like the aesthetics? Like, you don't like it when people tell you no? Yeah, I don't like to drink blood from unwilling people, but I do like to enthrall people. So I wandered in this room and I recognized Neville Maw. Seen him in the news. Seen photos of the accident. He was in really bad shape, a lot of broken bones and internal injuries. Somehow he was still conscious. What then? Well, I knew that if I gave uninfected people my blood, they'd be able to heal like I did, just not as fast. I figured that out early, and by mistake. But it can come in handy from time to time. So when I saw that Neville was conscious, I decided to make my grand appearance. I materialized in the room, told him I'd make a trade. I'd fix him up good as new, but he'd owe me some favors for it. I wasn't specific as to how many favors or what kind. He agreed. Actually, he leapt at the chance to become my pawn. I guess when you're all broken up like that, you just do about anything to get better. Deal was done, and we got along. I think he's charming, he thinks I'm funny, and he doesn't care that I'm a vampire. He told me that he gives me nice things because he likes me, and not because he owes me his life. It's all very sweet. So, what's it like to be a vampire? About the same as being a person. The human metahuman vampiric virus is like any other disease, except instead of coughing, I can't go out during the day. It's not all bad, though. I can turn into mist, and I'm a lot stronger than I used to be. Still have to wash my hair, pay for parking. You know what I miss the most? Steamed buns. I can't eat or drink anything except blood, and I loved street food before I got infected. Sometimes I'll walk by food courts just to smell the things they're frying up. But if I buy something, 10 minutes later, it's all coming back up in a mess. She's the dumbest idiot on the planet. Lamau, she fucking rules. She sucks so bad. It's true. Is there a cure? I wish, but no. The only cure is being tossed in a bonfire having your head cut off. And almost every nation in the world will pay a bounty for a dead vampire. It's not like I had much of a choice, you know? Be a vampire or get killed for some quick cash. It's a pretty raw deal either way. Well, I've decided. Okay, what's it gonna be? You're gonna live up to your potential and I'm gonna help you! Can I save the game? I don't think I can save the game in a dialogue. No. I mean, so the point of the mission is just to dig up dirt on Neville Maw, I think. if I recall correctly. We're just looking for like a way to blackmail him. So we don't actually care. Like, we don't care what she does. Why would we get her to fire Penelope? I guess are we trying to like destroy him? I don't remember. I mean, we're trying to fuck him up, but without killing him or injuring him. I think we go with this, though. You're going to live up to your potential, and I'm going to help you. I want a vampire friend. She blinks. You are? We are? Says Rector! Rector, you're all about, like, transcending human limitations. Also, again, we already have a team member who eats human flesh. Vampire is actually way easier to provide for. Like, this dude is a motherfucker. I know just by his face. Oh, you haven't been here for any of the conversations with Ractor, have you? Ractor is like a... Ractor is like a singularity dude. He's like transhumanist who's all about we're gonna all upload our brains into robots. I want to shoot this dude into a fucking locker. Yup. He's a guy. And he's like, oh, these people are such interesting. He's like, oh, it's interesting philosophy and stuff. He's yeah. Me and Duncan, we grew up on the streets. We can't teach you much about how to be a monster, but at least we can tell you what not to do. Man, if I really, I guess I wish I would have actually brought our ghoul with us. I can't actually remember his name off the top of my head. Because I'm sure, Gaichu, I'm sure he would have had an interesting conversation here. And I wish we could just bring him up, be like, yeah, we have a ghoul on our squad. He's not here with us. But like, he's fine. You can be fine too. Yeah, we could, but why would we? Yeah, the idea of a vampire accountant just tickles me, Duncan. Yeah. Like, she hasn't really done anything, as far as we can tell. She doesn't seem to have killed anyone. This is you collecting Mother Sharprock and Useless Idiot all over again. Hi, Daimon. You are correct. If I can collect the monsters, quote unquote, of the game, I will always do that. Because I've decided that I like you, and I can think of worse friends to have at my side than a vampire. A brilliant smile breaks out across her face. Well, in that case, I accept, gratefully. What about Dr. Shen Yang? What are we supposed to tell him? He wants Penelope Wong. What do you say, Kufang? Think you can get Neville to let her go? In a heartbeat. Neville can't say no to me. He'll do it, no question. Yeah, he can't say no to you because you're a vampire with mind control powers. I assume. Otherwise, why are those people following you around and killing people? Also, we murdered a bunch of them, but I mean, well. Good. Catch you later, Vampire Queen. She bows, smiling. It is settled then. May this be the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship. I hope she comes back later in the game. She had better show up again. I better be able to call in my... What if she just fucking paid them since she's an accountant? That's true. I mean, I don't think she has any money. Or she didn't, but... It's possible. We're going back to the mezzanine and we're just gonna leave. Actually, can we go in here? Oh, Penelope Wong is here. First of all, let's try and chat with her. We cannot chat with her. Can we chat with Neville? Oh. I really wanted to be like, hey, I met your girlfriend, your vampire girlfriend. She's pretty cool. And then just be like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. The clink of glasses and the sound of Neville Moss' party fades in the distance as you leave the Repulse Bay. As the MTR carries you towards Hioi, the mountains of Hong Kong Island roll by as looming masses, obscured by rain and storm clouds. Penelope Wong has been fired for promises of moonlight, and Ma will be at a serious disadvantage without her. The whims of Trid viewers shift as readily as the tide. Without the Starlet's presence, promises of moonlight will undoubtedly lose ratings. What's more, you've managed to turn a powerful foe into a potential ally. Only time will tell how Kufeng will repay you, however. Hopefully she will take down the final boss by sounding a discrepancy in their tax returns. Considering our enemy right now is the CEO of a major corporation who, it has been implied, made a deal with a devil, like a contract, and it's all about like the demon can't break their contract. That's what we just found out earlier in this stream. Um, that seems quite possible. Like, please have her come up and be useful for her like legal skills, her reading financial record skills. That would be amazing. Yeah, we earlier got a thing about the Yama Kings, which are the demons that are apparently possibly behind whatever's happening in the walled city. And the lady who's the head of the construction company, who is tied into why our quote unquote dad got killed and all that shit. Well, we don't have any definitive connection between them yet, but the notes about the Yama Kings were like, once they make a deal, it cannot be broken. And I was like, immediately just like, oh, it's a fucking devil deal story. It's a devil deal story. And I hope this is basically gonna be like a fucking riff on like Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul, which is not as good as the first Dirk Gently book, which is my favorite Douglas Adams book, but Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul does have a major plot about a demon deal, and it's really good. That's basically what I would say. It's a really good plot. You walk into a mess. Half-eaten cans of food litter the floor, and personal equipment is strewn about in haphazard fashion. Amid the mess, Wu sits in his bunk with his back against the wall. He has a PDA in his hands, and he's staring down at it, sullen and morose. He doesn't acknowledge your entry. Do you want me to come back later? Doesn't matter. Just look up. Go, stay, whatever. I assume that you're here to talk. What are you looking at on the PDA? A video of Edward Sang. Where'd you get it? Isabel dug it up. It's archival footage from the Walled City project. What's he doing? Being Raymond, telling people what to do, how to do it, except that he's younger, and he's rich and powerful, and his name is Edward. He glances up, his eyes are rimmed in red. Do you want to see it? Yeah, fire it up. Sure, why not? Wu taps a button and turns the PDA around so you can see it. Footage shows a serious Chinese man in an expensive suit sitting behind a large solid wood desk covered in blueprints. The man is holding a magnifying glass over one of the plans and studying it intently. He folds the blueprints over and checks the one beneath it. The nameplate on the desk reads, Edward Sang, Vice President of Special Projects. So it's a staged marketing thing, because no one fucking puts a magnifying glass over physical blueprints. The video is rough and contains no sound. It may have been footage for a documentary that was never completed. Yeah. Next shot is from some sort of planning meeting in a glass-enclosed conference room. The serious man is sitting at the conference table, pointing at a large map and looking up at the men standing around him. He's explaining something. They look at each other and nod, clearly impressed with what he has to say. The white bird at the end of the room bears the words, Groundbreaking, 21st of May, 2022, written in bold characters. Raymond's writing. Footage cuts to a scene of two people talking at the end of a long hallway. They don't appear to know they're being recorded. It's the serious man listening intently to what an older woman has to say, nodding with his arms crossed and his thumb at his lips. The woman is the same one that was in the tapped video call that kindly Cheng showed you, Josephine saying. She's somewhere in her late middle age, beautiful, very clearly in charge. Two look up at the same time, see the camera, and begin waving their hands for it to be turned off. The woman appears angry but cold. The video ends, and Wu puts the PDA face down on his bunk. Wu shrugs his shoulders, searches her eyes. Who is that guy? The guy who cleaned us up, gave us a home. Not this guy. This guy's some corporate big shot. The man who raised me was a community organizer. He wears sweaters. Maybe when we find the plastic-faced man, we'll get some answers. Till then, Raymond Black is Raymond Black, and this guy, someone else. What do you think about the last run? What did I think about it? Well, let me ponder that for a second. Be it stepping off items on his fingers. We crashed a fancy party, disturbed the who's who of the Hong Kong trio scene, and fought a vampire. But then you took it upon yourself to help the vampire become a vampire queen. That was an interesting choice. Not what Doc Shang would want, but what does he know? He's only the guy that's paying us. Anyway, enough about that. Anything else? I don't think that he would care. I mean, that's not what he was paying us for. We did the job we were paid for. Been thinking about the way you and Raymond used to butt heads. What about it? I think that's one of the reasons you were angry with me when I left. I had a better relationship with him. You didn't have a better relationship with him. Raymond and I were tight. You just knew how to avoid conflict better than I did. That's not the same thing. You had that way of diffusing him when he started with that Intenso Ray thing he used to do. Remember? Intenso Ray. I haven't thought of that in a long time. I think you were the one that came up with that name. It was like the summer after we started living with him and Mrs. Maloney. Raid found out that we hadn't followed one of his rules. I don't remember which. There was a long list. That was when he found out you'd broken his no dating until you graduate rule. No, it wasn't about David. That was the following summer. I think it was about smoking. Yeah, that's right. I was smoking. And he was pissed and said that fat kids who'd smoke die faster. So just to be obstinate, I told him I liked to smoke, and we got into it. Then you came in and diffused the whole situation. We stopped talking, and his expression becomes thoughtful. I think that's why I was so resentful when you took off, especially after Mrs. Maloney died. You were the only one who could get through to him when he became Intenso Ray. I remember the last time. It's when Double Trey got taken. I don't want to talk about that right now, Cade. Got enough on my mind as it is. Stuff like my father betraying my trust. Oop. Oh, we did get through everything because we asked him about it. Okay, that's fine then. Let's go talk to Isabel. I don't think she'll have a lot to say. You step into Isabel's cabin. She turns to face you. The desk she's been working at is a mess. Food wrappers, computer expansion cards lie together in a heap. Isabel herself doesn't look much better. Her eyes are badly bloodshot, and her lips have been drawn into a deep frown. You're back. Hey. She shoves this box of assorted mounting screws aside with her foot. What do you need? How are you holding up? Not great. I'll manage. Is there anything I can do? I seriously doubt it. Appreciate the offer, though. When I unlocked these old memories, I told you that they were crystal clear, right? Every detail was perfect. It's still that way, and I think it always will be. Why? Because they've been stored as data in an archival format. They're never going to fade. They'll never grow less intense with time. It's like having an eidetic memory. I'm stuck with a perfect record of every shitty thing that I saw and felt during my childhood in hell. It's not an easy thing to live with. If the memories are this painful for you, we can lock them away again after all this is over. You can throw away the key. And that's what I'm hanging on to. The fact that I can ditch my childhood again and forget the things that I saw. All the more reason to get through this business with the walled city quickly. Speaking of which, if you want to ask me questions about that place, you can go ahead. I think I've had enough time to process what's in my head. I should be able to give you some answers. Not all the answers, mind you, but something. Well, now that you've unlocked your memories, I have a question about the walled city. She runs the tip of her tongue over her lips and nods. A look of fierce determination seizes her. Go on, ask me a question. I'm ready. How did you get out of there when you were a kid? How did you escape? She heaves a sigh. Gobbet let me out. Really? She must have been, what, 9 years old? Something like that. Go ahead and ask her about it if you want. I'm sure she'll be happy to brag about it, but I think we have more pressing matters to discuss. Please, to be honest, almost anything would be preferable. Good, because I've had enough for one day. I'm tired. Reliving this stuff is exhausting. Come back later if you want. I'll have more time to unpack this stuff by then, but until then, please give me some space. There's a lot of dialogue in this game about, like, a lot of dialogue options about... Oh, shit. Well, I'll get to this in a second. Like, giving people space, basically, and being like, hey, what do you need right now? You know, what can I do? And, like, when they say, you know, because a lot of RPGs, I feel like the tendency is, you know, like, they're like, I don't want to talk about it, and you're supposed to push them, and it basically sits there until you push them, whereas a lot of it in this game is, like, you wait for like, they're ready, they talk a little bit about it, and then it's like, then you're done, and then because it's the mission cycle, so you go and you do a mission, then you come back, and now they're ready to talk a little bit more. But it works really well, I think. It's a nice, like, it feels, you know, kinder, more compassionate to the characters in a good way. She's gone, Cade. I don't know where she ran off to, but she looked upset. She just said something about friends in trouble, then left. The time I could disconnect from the octopus, she was on her way out of town. Shit, she must have gone back to the sinking ship. I don't like the sound of that. She tell you what went down there all those years ago? I don't want to talk about it. You can ask Gobbet. Oh yeah, she's gone, by the way. Yeah, that's the mutiny? Yeah, she's been having bad dreams about the place ever since. She turns her back and begins grabbing her gear. Well, we better go and get her, hadn't we? Let's do it. I'm going to arrange transport out of Hung Hom Bay. You come meet me at the docks when you're ready. Alright. Well, that's going to have to be our next mission, because I am not going to do missions without Gobbet. But we will not be doing that tonight. But we will talk to Ractor and Gaichu. Please, my friend, not now. Oh, right. Okay, we gotta go do his mission. I forgot before we talk to Ractor. So no fucking bullshit transhumanist shit from Ractor tonight. We can talk to Gaichu. Hey, Gaichu. Cabin is silent aside from the occasional swish of air as Gaichu steps through sword forms. He holds each stance a few seconds, practicing a given swing a few times before switching to the next. Hello, Cade. A single bead of sweat rolls down Gaichu's temple as he holds his position. After a few moments, he shifts to a relaxed stance, starting the form again. Pardon me for continuing my exercises. I feel that I've been letting them slip of late. You worried you're getting rusty? No, that's not quite it. Rather, I wish to learn to bring my enhanced strength and speed to bear. In order to do so, I must ensure that my blindness does not hinder me. Perfection is a journey, not a destination. Gaichu lifts his sword, offering it edge first towards you. Do you see that edge? Forged by one of the finest swordsmiths in modern Japan. Diamond-coated edge, capable of cutting even the most hardened ceramic armors. But what good is a sharpened edge without the precision to apply it? When I was still a man, I could have cut a single pea in half with my eyes closed. Oddly, after becoming blind, I cannot replicate this feat. Running the back of a claw along the blade's surface, Gaichu smiles thinly. I think soon I will be able to perform this feat again. I simply have to train my body to ignore the senses that it no longer has, and pay attention to the new ones. Now, what is it you would like to discuss? I'm going to guess he just says, since we didn't take him, he doesn't have any thoughts, but I would love for him to have thoughts of the vampire. Well, okay, your understanding of it is purely secondhand, but it involves a vampire. You're a ghoul. have some thoughts. Has it been difficult to learn to fight while blind? It's not the easiest thing I have attempted, but neither is it the hardest. Placing his sword off to one side, Gaichu turns to face you. Emptiness is form is one of the great lessons of the Hagakure. Train sufficiently, and both swordsmanship and obedience will come instinctively. That is the closest to perfection a man can attain. I don't put a whole lot of stock in being obedient. Gaichu feigns surprise. A lawless Shadowrunner have problems with authority. My goodness, I never would have guessed such a thing to be the case. When I was new to the unit, I thought that to be a good samurai was the ultimate goal, that to serve justly, with dedication, was the greatest honor a warrior could have. We were all young and foolish once, I suppose. That kind of ideology only serves the powerful. I'll ask. I generally tend not to make statements if possible, so what changed your mind? Beyond my disease, there was a fight in Fukuoka. My former team ambushed me. It had a singular effect on my worldview. We were taught that we were superior to everyone, that since we were pure humans and Japanese, we would always win. I believe that most never question the validity of this claim, even when confronted with direct evidence to the contrary. Well, tell me about when your old unit ambushed you. Very well. Gaichu draws his nails over his scalp, sighing. My time in Fukuoka was tense. Since leaving Keihanshin, I had been careful to stay out of sight by moving on foot or in the back of automated delivery vans. Ah, like Solid Snake. I was running out of food, however, and needed to be in the city for that. Fukuoka is just big enough to get lost in, but not so large that a ghoul sighting could go unnoticed. I hid in abandoned buildings and storm drainage systems, and for 2 weeks I managed to stay hidden. The strain of having to constantly move was wearing on me, however. I made a mistake. What happened? I had to get out of Japan, but all my contacts in Fukuoka had come up empty-handed when I asked for a way to China. I was running low on money, and I could feel the team catching up with me. A contact of mine in Kumamoto owed me a favor and arranged passes for me if I could reach the city in 48 hours. Gaichi closed his eyes, resting his face in one palm. If I had taken my time, I could have made it to Kumamoto without incident, but I let caution slip when I got his email. I thought that if I disguised myself, I could take the train there, get out before my unit got any closer to finding me. I still don't know how they found me. Magical tracking, perhaps, simply a well-developed spy network. Regardless, they found me. They were waiting for me at Hakata Station. It was an ambush. That's a very public place for an ambush. It is. I suspect their orders were clear, however. Do whatever it takes to kill me. Civilians expendable. For units like the Red Samurai, ordinary laws do not apply. The mission's success is the only concern. I had taken steps to disguise myself as best I could, relying on the sheer number of people to conceal my presence. I suspected that the team might attack while I was in public, but I did not realize just how expendable the civilians were. When they blew the C4 charges over the station's western entrance just to box me in, I realized how much I had underestimated them. I assumed that the train had derailed, honestly, but then I smelled the telltale acrid vapor of the explosives. Gaichu wrinkles his nose at the memory. Once you smell it, you never forget. The plastic explosive that we used has a particularly sharp odor, like old cheese. Something to do with an olfactory taggant added to help track it if it is stolen. I remember stumbling through dust and debris trying to find my way to the rail platforms. They attacked from all sides, using the confusion to strike at once. I could hear Ashida and Takagawa behind me. Aomori and Sasaki charged out of an access corridor just ahead where I'd been standing. Sasaki threw a firewall down before me, cutting off retreat, while Aomori started firing. Sounds like you didn't have much choice but to defend yourself. Gaichu nods, lips pursed. Yes, that is so. Training took over. I knew I had to survive, and I was not thinking of anything but survival, so I charged Sasaki and Aomori. They were only 15 meters from me. The only advantage I had was that they were as blinded by the dust as I was, but I could still hear and smell them. Sasaki threw a lightning bolt at me, but I managed to roll under it. As I came up, Aomori's light machine gun was swiveling down. I felt time stretch out as I stared down the barrel. I caught Aomori in the throat with the tip of my sword. It was a maneuver I'd practiced hundreds of times before. There was no resistance as I cut through his trachea, and he fell as I rolled to the side. I could hear him choking for breath as he dropped. Gaichu exhales a humorous laugh, and he shakes his head. It is strange to think how clear that memory is, even now. He's your friend. That kind of thing will stick with you. Gaichu snorts, waving a hand dismissively. Spare me the 2 Nuya in psychiatry. Obviously what you say is true, but the memory sticks with me strongly for another reason. It was in that strike that I realized who I truly was. My whole time with the Red Samurai I had focused on ensuring that I was worthy of the team. Everyone felt that way, but I felt it more acutely than most. I have always wanted to be the best, the fastest, the most precise. In the Red Samurai, I felt that to be less than perfect would be to let the team down. We were always told how lucky we were to have been accepted into the unit. That moment my sword struck Aomori, I knew that I would survive the fight. They attacked me as they would an animal. They seemed to be counting on herding me into Takagawa and Ishida. Aomori didn't even try to get out of the way of my sword strike. I recall his eyes going wide. He looked surprised that I was using a weapon and not my claws. How does he know his eyes go wide? He's already blind at this point. Right? He's blind because he became a ghoul. I thought the whole thing was that ghouls were blind, not that like he's specifically blind. They underestimated you. Gaichu nods sharply. They thought they were fighting a beast. I would never have underestimated them as they did me. All the lessons I taught them about close combat thrown out the window as soon as their preconceptions entered the battlefield. Disgraceful. As I killed Aomori, I realized that it was not that I was unworthy of the Red Samurai, but that they were unworthy of me. What did it mean that I, an infected monster that was less than a beast, could still defeat the finest soldiers in the world? Red Samurai doctrine taught Aomori and others not to fear me, and this overconfidence would be their death. I realized I had progressed beyond their ability to understand. My sword was as accurate as ever, but they could not account for it due to ideological blindness. I guess you get to see at this point, he was staring down the gun barrel. Yeah, I don't understand the writing here, because I thought... I was also thinking about how he got on the train, but I was like, well, I guess, he learned fast. Figure it out. But I'm not clear. I don't know that much about Shadowrun lore enough to be confident in saying. That's the danger of letting ideology overrule facts. Precisely. All those years I was worried I was not good enough to be a member of the Red Samurai. Somehow they had been pulling my weight, but I had been blind to all the ways in which we were not training, or had avoided the harsh truths about our own abilities. We were so often told of our own excellence that I wondered if we had ever truly been tested. Sasaki was the next to fall. As I turned away from Aomori, I realized she must have seen me strike him. Her eyes were wide, and I could feel her fear and anger as she tried to summon another spell. She seemed caught between healing Aomori and attacking me. Gaichu taps himself on the forehead, just above the right eye. It was there on Sasaki, a downward stroke from Jodan's stance. She had hesitated, just as Aomori had. I felt the breath go out of her, like someone had deflated a tire. She just slid down into a pile. I think she was trying to ask me how when I ran. What about Ishida and Takagawa? My goal was survival, not victory. Takagawa was too far away, and I did not see Ishida. I only smelled him, so I ran. The trains had been shut down due to the explosion, but as long as I could get out of Hakata Station, I knew I could escape. They did not follow me out into the city proper. From what I heard via the Matrix, the event was reported as a terrorist attack that was thwarted by brave Renraku's soldiers. Gaichu snorts, lips curling downward. Brave, foolish soldiers. What does perfecting herself mean to you, anyway? I do not know. I am certain that sounds like an evasion, but it is not. There's no roadmap for being a ghoul who is also a freelance killer. I only know that my instincts are stronger now than they were when I was an ordinary man. Because of this, I must learn to make my own way in the world. There is no older teaching for me to reach for. Gaichu suddenly cocks his head. Is this why you're concerned about my history with the Red Samurai? I just want to make sure nobody comes gunning for us while our attention is elsewhere. A fair concern, I admit. I will take this under advisement. I do not wish this team to be harmed by my actions, or lack therein. I am no longer simply a man. This is a fact of my life. I am beyond that. I do not know if I am better for it, but I know that I am different for it. The fact that I am different, however, cannot be denied. I put a question to you then. If you had been changed into a ghoul, what would you do? How would you improve yourself and learn to live with your condition? I have no idea. That's a road I can't even consider. I've never been in your position. A fair point. This is why I struggle with it. I know what I must eat, how I must live. The changes are not only physical, as I mentioned before. My mind is more instinctive now. Reasoning is more difficult. I tend to react quickly without thought. That also generally will turn the tide in my favor. Gaichu squares himself, nodding several times, as if agreeing with his own internal dialogue. Warriors must learn to push their body and soul to the utmost limit. So too is it with me. But my body and soul are no longer that of a man. I must learn to use these differences as an advantage rather than a handicap. Perfection is not a destination. It is a journey. One must strive to become the purest form of oneself that one can be. So what will you do about your unit when they come looking for you in Hong Kong? I'm unsure. You've given me a great deal to consider, and I do not mean that lightly. There are several actions and possible outcomes I foresee. I could, as before, relocate to another city, flee Hong Kong, travel somewhere further afield. Lagos, perhaps, or Montreal. Montreal! It would have to be someplace where Renaku's influence was minimal, where the unit's presence would be immediately noticeable. This has been my plan of action in the past. I could also keep a low profile, staying here, hope that they are unable to find precisely where I'm hiding. Undoubtedly, Ishida would command the team to keep looking. I believe it would only be a matter of time before they found me, but if it were a sufficiently long time, they might be recalled. I could also confront them, draw them out into the open at a time and place of my choosing. They are nothing if not predictable in their efforts to follow Red Samurai operational doctrine. That plan could succeed, but it could also put you and civilians at risk, and I'm unsure how I would draw them out in the first place. There's nothing wrong with hiding out. Yeah, I mean, I would say, because I don't think attacking them is going to be a thing. I would say bide your time, get out of Hong Kong. Gaichi sighed, shoulder slumping a little. I'm unsure if that is the wisest course of action. I'm going to need to think about this a great deal. Please let me think on this. I will answer later. I mean, he wants to confront them, I'm pretty sure, but let's see here. So, oh, let's go talk to Dr. Shenyang. I forgot. He's the guy in Kindly Cheng's parlor waiting for us. Yeah, I was like, where's my collect my payment option? Forgot that's because he's actually here. Oh yeah, he's a little guy. Shenyang is busily puffing away on a foul-smelling cigar, his comlink in one hand. His eyes flash with anticipatory glee as he sees you. Dr. Shenyang greets you in the name of all producers. How'd the shindig go? I've got the information you wanted. You explain the night's events from start to finish. As you speak, Shenyang's face grows ever more incredulous until finally his mouth is left hanging halfway open. He slowly places a cigar in a nearby ashtray and shakes his head in disbelief. Vampires in the Trid industry. A vampire queen, no less. I mean, self-proclaimed. What a nightmare. At least you got me Wong. Poor Neville's show is dead. That's something. Alright, kid. I'll send payment to your Matrix drop. You earned it. Glad to be able to help. Dr. Shenyang is about to speak, but his comlink begins to buzz. Irritated, he answers it and switches to speaker mode. Yeah, who is it? What do you want? Hello, Shenyang. I just wanted to let you know that I've released Penelope Wong from her contract. If you're still interested in her, she's all yours. Also, I hope your business is doing alright. I'd heard you had some problems with cash flow. If you need a loan, I'd be happy to help. Dr. Shenyang eyes the image of Neville Ma with suspicion. You don't sound too mad, Dev. What's the catch here anyway? You must have the next big thing lined up already. Oh, Doctor, there's no need for it. Do you want to know why I keep winning our little contests, and you're always playing catch-up? It's because you think people like Miss Wong actually matter. They don't. Stars are crafted, molded out of talent, yes, but ultimately constructed. With enough time and effort, anyone can be made into a star. It's just a question of manipulating public perception. Maybe so, but I got her now, and your show's dead in the water without the star. What do you think of that, eh? I think I'm gonna do what any good soap opera producer would do. Write her character out with a tragic death and bring on someone new. You labor under the misapprehension that viewers have loyalty. They don't. They have only appetite. As long as you chase stars like Wong, you will lose. Don't be afraid to think bigger, Doctor. Reach for the drama, not the dramatists. With that, Neville Ma hangs up on Dr. Shenyang. The next 30 seconds, Dr. Shenyang releases a stream of violently imaginative invectives at the phone. Even Strangler Bao looks taken aback at the ferocity of Shenyang's anger and the inventiveness of the sexual positions that he describes. Finally, he takes a deep breath and compels himself. That dirty little weasel, insulting my creativity like that. The nerve! Go on, kid, we're done here. Thanks for all your help, but I gotta get going. I gotta talk to a guy about buying a bunch of snakes. Pretty sure, oh, you're also pretty sure the game is gonna want you to confront them. Yeah. Let's see. So, talk to everyone. Oh right, we gotta go to the sinking ship, but we'll do that next time. Okay. Thanks everyone for joining me tonight for Shadowrun Hong Kong. One mission per stream, plus all the stuff around it, because all the stuff around it takes a long time, but it's good. I'm still really enjoying this game, man. We do have a lot of so we got 2 missions. So we were, yeah. Why is this still here? Oh, I guess because it was there at start. We got 2 more missions this stream, so we would have been down to 2. So we gotta go do this one, we gotta do this one for Ractor. These are both just regular missions. But you know, we're narrowing the mission list, maybe. At some point it'll presumably condense down to not being more than 4 missions. But let me go schedule. Oops. Exit. Like I said, I'll be back next week with more Hong Kong. We're gonna go rescue Gobbet next time. I will be gone tomorrow probably. And Thursday, I'll probably, right now I'm just thinking I might just stream Deadfire on Thursday since I didn't stream yesterday. Had a bad day. And I want to, considering, I don't like missing streams of that game because it's, much as I enjoy it, which I do enjoy it a lot, I would also like to finish it at some point. So, but we'll see. Might be something different. I don't know. This is the rest of the stream, the schedule. It is also below the stream. It is updated. You can follow for notifications when I go live. You can sub for emotes of my cats. We didn't have cat cam on tonight, but hopefully we'll have it on next time. It's usually, it's on like, I don't know, at least half the time. Yeah, I appreciate everybody hanging out and chatting. It's a lot of fun for me. I hope it is fun for you, and I hope that you join me again in the future. Good night.